scrub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the crop, gotta love it or not. I'm hot from the hop to the scrub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the scrub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the scrub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the scrub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with everybody, we do it. Everybody, we do it.
Well. What the fuck do we have here? The final podcast of 2021. And you're now tapped into the coolest reptile podcast in the world. I'm your boy, MJ. What is good? Happy New Year's Eve. Did I say it right? I don't fucking know. But what is good, everybody? It is Thursday. You know damn well it feels like it's Friday. Definitely feels like it's party time. It's always that case when you're tapped into this podcast. For whatever reason, and there could be many reasons why this could be your first podcast. We've got a legend that we're bringing on. If you're coming from his podcast, checking out this podcast for the first time, what is good? Do your boy a favor. If you're liking what you're seeing and hearing and all that good stuff, smash that like button. That means a lot to me. Hit the subscribe button for your own benefit, because I can tell you what, when you subscribe, you're always on top. Or you got to hit that notification bell. It's important too. But by doing those two things, you're always on top of every single podcast that I come out with. Because, I mean, look, you guys know I've been pumping these fucking shows out, right? It's about to get heavier, okay? I just don't want you guys to miss anything, okay? So if you hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, you're on top of every single show that I come out with. And I'm not stopping anytime soon, as you guys will see in 2022. But yes, what is good with all my early birds in the building? Man, shit is jumping off right now. This show is going to be fucking what you need to end your 2021, whether if you had a good year or a bad year. This is going to be a show. So before we oh my God, that dab. Before we move forward, you guys know what the deal is for the freshest and bestest rodents delivered to your doorstep. That's coldbloodedcafe.com. $30. You know, always get that dab. I get that little speech impediment. $30 flat rate shipping delivered to your doorstep. Professionally packed, professionally trained team. I'm telling you right now, Cold Blooded Cafe is the company you would want to support, because they put a lot of hard work and passion behind the work that they do. For years on, they've been leading the rodent industry. So shout out to Desiree, shout out to Steven, shout out to the whole entire shout out to the whole entire Cold Blooded Cafe team. Go check them out. If you support Cold Blooded Cafe, you guys already know what the deal is. They're the best. So good shit. Thank you so much. Shout out to Alex and John over at Sim Container. Speaking of Sim Container, I just put 2 green tree monitor eggs inside a Sim Container at 85 degrees. Probably eggs aren't good, but guess what? I don't care. She laid eggs. That's a huge milestone for me, man. To get monitor eggs, unbelievable. But guess what I did? I put those directly inside a Sim Container over water, and that's it. Done deal, man. I don't have to worry about humidity. I talked to a lot of monitor breeders, people who've actually successfully bred monitors. Humidity is very important, but it can't be wet, you know? So it's very important how this Sim Container is designed to have anything hatch out of it. I'm telling you right now, I'm not just trying to hype this shit up. I'm telling you, Sim Container is the truth. So go over to their website, simcontainer.com, or go follow them on Instagram. Get yourself a Sim box. Shout out to everyone in the early bird comments who are using a Sim box, because you already know it's the truth. Speaking of the truth, Focus Cube Habitats, baby. PVC built enclosures, Flex in Texas. I love anything out of Texas. I'm not going to lie. I just fuck with Texas heavy. But I can tell you right now, I have major things in the works with Steven and Ashley over at Focus Cube Habitats. The room I sit in right now that has probably over 15 to 16 adult chondros in tubs is that era is going to be over. Because guess what? I ordered 12. Well, I guess there's like 3 that will still be in tubs, but I ordered 12 3x2s by 2 Focus Cube Habitat enclosures. This fucking room's going to be decked out, all Focus Cube, as I envisioned it over a year ago. Telling you right now, man, Focus Cube's where it's at. I am so excited to get these enclosures and get these beautiful chondros into things they deserve to be in. Nothing against tubs. Dude, tubs got me where I'm at right now. I'm not even joking, but that's not my end goal. I do not want to always keep my chondro that I plan on keeping for 20, 30 years in a tub, you know? Think about it. But Steve and Ashley doing big things. Make sure you go give them a follow on Instagram and go put your order in on an enclosure. I'm telling you right now, they got special designs. They do things differently when it comes to their enclosures. That's a fact. So shout out to Focus Cube Habitats. Shout out to Jesse and the entire Freedom Breeder crew. Stainless steel racks made in the United States. The #1 stainless steel racks made in the United States. I'm telling you right now, nothing's better than Freedom Breeder, and that's a fact. And the good thing about these, as a lot of you guys know who own Freedom Breeder racks, they don't lose value. You always have fucking, equity in a Freedom Breeder rack, as long as you don't fucking break the motherfucker, which hard to break a Freedom Breeder rack. They're, stainless steel. Hard to break somebody who's a fucking maniac like my man, Always Evolving Pythons. I don't know. I could have did a better intro than that. I'm sorry, bro. But listen, if you don't follow Miguel Garcia the fuck? If you don't follow Miguel Garcia at Always Evolving Pythons and you breed ball pythons, you must be fucking just hating. I don't know what your problem is, but this guy right here is doing groundbreaking shit with these ball pythons that no one else is doing. And I mean that with all due respect. He's just on his own level and doing his own thing with his sunset projects and his clown projects on a bunch of sick shit. You just got to go give Miguel Garcia a follow if you fuck with ball pythons. Not even if you don't, even if you are curious. Here's the good thing about Miguel. Because, okay, I'll tell you right now, a lot of you guys out there who are like breeding chondros and breeding boas, other species and ball pythons, and it's the light bulb's now clicking in your head saying, maybe I should get into the ball python game. You're okay. If you're one of those people, go follow Miguel Garcia, because that's the guy I'm telling you that put me on the right step to where I should go with my projects. I'm not saying go hit him up with questions. I'm just saying go follow his work. Go see what he does. And that's all I got to say. Shout out to Miguel Garcia. Shout out to Always Evolving Pythons, the entire team for supporting the trap. I love you guys so much. You have no idea what that kind of support does to me. And yeah, you guys go give him a follow. I appreciate it. And then you guys, real quick, not to be a broken record, but fucking US Arc needs our help. Let's go. All year we've been talking about US Arc, and guess what? I'm going to be talking about it all next year. It's not going to stop. So that being said, shit's hitting the fan already in North Carolina. That's not the only state that's due to that's going to be fucked here pretty soon. So I don't know details, but let's not wait for details. Let's get over to US Arc. Let's do what we have to do to help fight them fucking keep our animals. This is stupid. I mean, people don't know half the shit that they're even bitching about, but they're trying to take our animal rights. And it's, I don't know, man. I'm taking this more serious because, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's not affecting me yet, but yet we don't want that demon to become a possibility. So proactively, we should be on our shit with this. So anyone out there who even keeps 2 snakes, a snake, anything, you need to be on your shit. You need to go down to US Arc. You need to go support them. And yeah, that's a fact. I shout out to Phil, shout out to everyone who supports US Arc. And like I said, go down to the link, click it, and go support them. I really appreciate it. Let's see. All right, I think we're good. Oh yeah, and then guys, of course, if you guys need to get a hold of me, dude, Instagram's the best way to do that. mjexoticscartal with an A, not an E. And make sure you go follow the podcast's Instagram page as well. Trap Talk with MJ Podcast. Shout out to all my Twitch viewers, man. I think my Twitch viewers are growing, man. So that's what's up. Shout out to my Twitch viewers in the building. If you like to support this channel more than a subscription or anything more than a super chat, then if you want to go ahead and just send that to PayPal at mjexoticscartal. 619. And yeah, and then dude, shout out to my Patreon members, man. That's all I gotta say. Shout out to all my Patreon members. I have so much special stuff going into 2022 for my Patreon members. So that being said, I got these new shirts, baby, that I just released. Bro, how many people out there are fucking releasing Bella Canvas? That's the quality shirt. Pocket tees, motherfuckers. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. So get this crispy ass, clean pocket tee when you join the Patreon page. These are only available to the Patreon members. And guess what, baby? Trapping's not for everybody, because guess what? Trapping's a fucking sport. It is difficult. It is not easy. Feel me? Patreon members, I love you guys to death. Thank you so much. I will see you guys Sundays, as we always will tap in together. We always tap in together Sundays. And we have a Discord that we mainly all get together on. And I'm just telling you, man, I don't want to say too much. Go down to the link below. Click on the Trap Talk Patreon link. Join the family. And let's chop it up. Let's get to know each other. Thank you for all my support. What is good? Look at, dude, the early bird comments. Wow, you guys are... Dude, there's already people putting money. Wow, what is this? A fucking Triple B TV live? People pre-putting money in a fucking goddamn chats. All right, let's go. Bods Exotic Reptiles. What is good? The General in the building. Go follow my man Martin Morphs right now. This guy is slept on. So go give this guy a follow right now. This guy's passion is fucking 110%. And if he's your homie, then you already know what kind of homie the General is. So shout out to Martin Morphs, Patreon member all day. 1776 Exotics, big homie Mike, Patreon member all day. Isaac Rodriguez, what is good? How you doing? Thanks for tapping in. Nate Dogg, Patreon member all day. What's going on, Nate Dogg? Thanks for being here. Crenshaw Constrictors. Are you from Crenshaw? Crenshaw, like the hood Crenshaw? You're like an hour and 35. What's good? Jason Holbrook, what is good? That's Barbara J in the building. That's my boy. One of the reasons I like Indiana is going to be because of this man right here. He stays on deck with the fire. What is good? HB Reptiles, Patreon family all day, every day. Eric's Morph Factory. I hope everything's good at the factory. What is good, Jamie? Thanks for tapping in. Wise Guy. What is good, Wise Guy? FNA Balls. What is good? This is the homie right here. Cornet Constrictors. What is good, Cornet? Thanks for tapping in. Pacific Rim Serpents. What is good? Thank you for tapping in. She's a Patreon member all day, every day. Peter McMillan in the UK. What is good, Peter McMillan? Thanks for tapping in. The homie right here, Dom 702 Serpents. What is good? Patreon member all day, every day. We got the homegirl, Aurora Exotics. What is good? Patreon member all day, every day. I'm gonna give as many shots. This is the last show of the year, so I'm gonna give everyone shout outs. Sinful Serpents. What is good? Tapping in. Genomic Labs, the homie, what is good? Thanks for tapping in. Tyler King, what is good? Patreon member all day, every day. Fucking big shooter McGavin right here. Serpent Smith is my boy right here. Is my shooting coach. Dennis in the building. Don't fuck with him. And then let's see. Adrian Blue already dropping bills. Is this already a question for Chris? Oh my, little dear Adrian. All right, it's my boy. So guys, Adrian Blue, all right, he's very passionate, has a big heart. Gets a little ahead of himself sometimes, like right now. But this guy's heart is where it's at. Please go give him a follow on Instagram, because that's my boy. That's my little protege. I'm working on this guy right now. It's my boy, Adrian Blue. Thanks for tapping in. Adrian, I'll get to that question. I promise you. Thanks for your super chat. I appreciate that. H&H Pythons, what is good? Nate Dogg, another Nate Dogg, what is good? Rain Exotics, what is good? Austin Anderson, what is good? Austin, how you been, bro? Matt Exotics, what is good? This is fucking royalty Patreon member all day, every day right here. Richard Nichols, what is good? Lily right here. Oh, this is a homegirl, Lily. Please go. Naganti Exotics. Go give her a follow right now on Instagram. That's the homegirl right there. 403 Fauna, what is good? Sean Perry, what is good? MSR, what is good, player? You ready for our next travels? Because it's all booked up. Where are we going? Don't worry about it. Matt knows, but we already know. What is good? Underworld Exotics. These nuts in the building. Josh Fallon. Oh, by the way, these are two right here. Patreon brothers right here. What is good? Josh Fallon. What is good? Oh, we got Antoine, the cleanest head in the building. What is good, Antoine? Go give my man follow. Go subscribe to his channel. Let's get him to 5K. And go give him a follow on Instagram right now. That's my boy Antoine in the building. And we're going to end it right now on the homie Cascade Critters. This is my boy Harry. Harry, you're my boy. Thanks for tapping in. Wait, hold on. I got two big super chats. Okay, I'll get to that. We're gonna get to the rest of the stuff here in a minute, because I need to get this show going, because I'm super excited for tonight's show. It's a long time coming. I think I reached out to this gentleman a few months ago, but I already okay. Here's the thing, guys. Put my arm chest down. I don't bring a lot of podcasters on this show, as you guys know. Respect to a lot of people who do podcasts out there. But if I'm going to bring a podcaster to the show, it's going to be someone literally, like I said, all due respect, someone who's been on their own shit and someone who's been doing their shit for a minute. Cusco, right? Definitely. Cusco's a great example. I love bringing Cusco. But this guy right here, to me, just because how far back he goes with the shit that I'm so inspired of doing every day, this means a lot. This means this guy's interviewed a lot of people that I would hope to interview someday. So I have so many questions. We're gonna tap into him right now because he's from the East Coast and he's not fucking around. It's my boy Chris Eaton, Snakes in the fucking Fatman. What is good, sir?
What's up, brother? We got you pretty excited right now, huh?
You see how pumped I am?
I see. What's going on, my friend?
How you doing? How's your evening going?
Good. It's going all right. Pretty
Happy
sure
holidays.
I got the COVID.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you too. I'm pretty sure I got the COVID. So, but it's going to be, fairly decent because I feel okay, but quarantining is my middle name. I hate people anyway, so I'll be able
So
to.
it's like you're made for
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. I've been quarantining since 2015. All right, so it's all good.
Yeah, I think I forgot. I think Forrest was the one who said like I think reptile people are like fucking made for quarantine. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, that's all we're doing anyways. All we do is fucking hibernate and hang out with our animals the whole fucking time. You know?
Yeah. You work from home and you hate people, so it's the perfect. It's a perfect thing.
Dude, but okay, before we get into the generalization of people, which you're so right, I want to capitalize on that, but I want to know, man, like how's your year been, bro? Like how's it going? I mean, I know you've approached a lot of new things with your podcast platforms this year, so I want to kind of talk about that, but I just want to know how's 2021 treating you, man?
I mean, it's good. Like any day, any day you wake up is a good day, right? So it's like.
Blessing,
If I could do, I'm doing more with the podcast now over the last couple of months. The year's been, it's been another COVID year. So how great could it be? But at the end of the day, it gives you a chance to spend your time at home and come up with shit that you want to do. And if you don't know how to do it, you just learn how to do it, right? So that's what I've been doing all year.
So let's kind of like, I want to know because like I said, anything I know of you, I've heard from other people, right? So I want to know from you, the actual source here. How far back does the podcasting go for you? Like, and like what sparked it? Like what triggered you to be like, I need to fucking bring people on and talk about reptiles?
Oh, well, I think it's been 6 years now, I think. And for the first couple of years, I only did once a month. So, that's why I'm only on episode 68 on January 1st. So, it was once a month, and then I decided to do it twice a month. But I think everybody knows this. What started was I used to listen to Ball Shit, the Sean Bradley's podcast, and Sean, back in the day would just interrupt the fuck out of everybody, and make it all about Sean. So every episode was like the Sean show. So I just thought to myself, if I'm going to want to hear about what these people have to say, I'm going to have to interview them myself. And we had just spent a ton of money with Ralph Davis. And, I told him, if you want the other half of the check, come on my podcast. Be the first guy on my podcast. And Ralph came on here, first time. So
respect, heavy respect for getting that guy on. I mean, he's a cool guy, you know what I mean? But I've been pulling fucking nail and tooth to get this guy on a podcast, and that's when I heard you had him on, I was like, okay, respect. I automatically I was like, I gave you mad fucking respect when I heard that, and then but yeah, like so. I mean, I'm just curious. So with your interest with podcasts, what animals were you working with? Like what involvement do you have with the animals? I want to know more about as far as like.
Oh, well, when I was living out by you, I had 30 or 40 different species of reptiles. So,
so you're in California before you moved back east.
Yeah, I was in California for 12 years, and I was actually in San Diego for a while.
No way. How long ago was this?
Yeah, this was 2001. 2002.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I think I was in there from 2000 till 2012, okay. And that was when we would go up to Prehistoric Pets. That store just opened in Oceanside. Triple L.
Right.
Just opened in Oceanside at the time. So that was fun. To keep going there, and I kept monitors and venomous and big retics and berms, and had an alligator for a while, so it was fun.
Yeah.
And then when I moved back to New York and I had to get rid of everything, we just got into ball pythons, and 3 years later we had 600 snakes in a ball python business, and that's what I was doing for the last 8 years or so. And then I just got tired of it. I had some health issues, and just got tired of ball pythons. Like, just blah blah blah. Like, fucking come on, man. I had enough already with the ball pythons.
So if you lived in California or a different place, you definitely would have something else going right now. Is what you'd say? Is what you're saying?
Oh yeah, without a doubt. New York sucks for keeping reptiles. I mean, it's really just the worst.
They don't.
I found out we were keeping like 200 snakes here in my condo, and we got reported, and we found out that only 4 non-venomous reptiles are allowed in a condo dwelling in the town that I'm in. So
right,
had to get had to move out, had to get a commercial space, all this other shit.
So let me ask you this, Chris, with the start of your podcast, so you had Ralph Davis, right? Like, what were your angles? Like after Ralph Davis, were you somebody who had like a list of people you already want to bring on, or were you kind of just going with the flow and like after each podcast, all right, who do I want to bring on next? Like, how are you approaching these shows that you were doing?
Well, what I would do is I would just we would be spending a lot of money. I mean, this was when we first started the snake breeding company, so we were spending some money with the bigger guys like Will Banks and Oz and Justin and all that. And I would just talk to them about it. And I mean, podcasting wasn't new back then, but I would just tell them, yeah, you want to be on. It's just shooting the shit and having fun. And it's never really been a reptile podcast, but like my thing has never been a reptile podcast. It's been like a comedy podcast that reptile people enjoy coming on because they know me and they know that we have fun when we sit down and bullshit together. So, it's been pretty easy to get people on.
I will say, and you probably already know the gift of bringing people. Like, if you are good, okay, here's the thing, Chris. Like, I bring people on I really want to know about. Like, I mean, even if it's somebody who's popular, like if it's somebody that interests me, like it's so awesome because to me, like this is just if we were talking in person, like, and I'm getting to know you, and like at the end of the day, like we're gonna leave something with this. Like, this is awesome. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, I noticed you 2 years ago, and I think I even threw you out a compliment because it was about a year ago where all these other podcasts were just popping up on YouTube, like these fucking morons that were doing it for 6 months. They were putting out podcasts like they knew what the fuck.
I noticed
they were
all that
about.
by the way. Like I mean, I'm definitely like. Here's the thing. Like I just like I was telling. Excuse me. Me and Chris were talking before we went live during the sound check that. I started a podcast thinking I was the first person doing a podcast being real, being myself. Like this is before I even knew who Chris was. So I was seeing all these people putting on a fucking front. Like I was like, what is it's like we're all grown-ups. Like, what are we talking about right now? Like, what the fuck? Like this is I feel like we're like dancing around the topic, or like we're not getting to the root of what we should be talking about, And I will say too, also, if you don't know this, Chris, what made me encourage me to want to just do my own podcast was when I got brought onto a podcast for the first time, and I was told I couldn't cuss and I couldn't smoke.
Oh,
and I was like, and like there was like 60 people watching, and I was like, dude, this would be so much better if we were ourselves. Like, and I remember thinking that to myself, and I was like, I'm doing a fucking podcast. I was like, I'm doing it after this. And this is when me and Forrest were already talking back and forth, and rest in peace, Forrest Fanning. But like, he was really the biggest reason why I even had the fucking cojones to want to even do a podcast, because he was the knowledge behind everything. Like this guy was the
oh yeah
He was the book, bro. Like, and he, he wanted, and he was like, I just need you to be the mouth. Like,
right.
Like, I just need you to be the, like, who you are. Cause he's like, he liked that I was myself. He's like, he's like, even, I like that you like, you don't always agree with everyone. I'm like, yeah, I was like, I'm just like, I'm just who I am, and Forrest was about breaking that mold, like breaking that, like, fuck being a coddler and being a little like, oh, we got to be careful with what comes out of our mouth. And like, like, I don't know, bro. At the end of the day, like, these are fucking animals. Like, calm down. You know what I mean? And we're all adults. Like, yeah, it is for the kids. I love the kids. Don't get me wrong, but there's plenty other shows for that. This isn't.
Well, right. Quick Forrest story. The first time I met Forrest was in Maryland at a chondro convention, right? And the people that ran the chondro convention were like, listen, we want all you guys to come back to our house. We only live 10 minutes away. And Forrest was vending there, and he was like, oh, Jesus. He's like, all right, we'll go. And Forrest drove with us. And as soon as the door closed, Forrest was like, I can't believe these motherfuckers want us to go to their goddamn house and see their bullshit fucking chondros. And it was supposed to be, it was supposed to be 10 minutes away. It ended up being like an hour and 15 minutes away. Forrest had a table set up that sat empty the whole. I think we were gone for like 6 hours. And the best part is it was in these people's basement and the ceiling was like 6 feet high. And Forrest, he's fucking 9 feet tall.
Yeah, he's fucking a monster.
He was fucking miserable the whole time. I mean, that was just such a great fucking show. But that was the first time I met Forrest. Yeah.
Dude, you know what's crazy is like you just like I was blessed to get a lot of good versions of Forrest, but I heard so many, like, when Forrest was not in a good mood or like in a position where he did not want to be in that place, you fucking knew it. Like, if he was over something, oh, and there goes Chris. But anyways, that's my boy Forrest, man. And man, I missed the shit out of him talking about this. But anyways, like, when that motherfucker was over something, he was over it. He was just like how I am, but he never got like that with me. Like, so, but like he was like that with Barchek, with Cusco, with like a bunch of people. Like, it's funny that you have a story like that. So okay, let me ask you this. So Ralph Davis being the primary ball python guy at that time when you brought him on, right? Like, that was kind of like towards the end of him stopping, right? Or like he right before he quit or stopped what he was doing.
No, he was quit for a while. As a matter of fact, I got so many responses to that podcast saying, I can't believe this guy has this over exaggerated view of his own importance still. Like, in other words, It was when really like people were really dumping a lot of money into it and getting into the game. And Ralph wasn't the only guy buying from Africa anymore with like Brock and Brad and all the Wilbanks and those other guys,
Right.
And Ralph is a fucking crotchety old dude, right? But he's really like, he's the king. If you follow all the the Ralph Davis forums and all that back in the day, he was the guy to talk to.
Right.
So
that's what everybody says. Like that. That's not just you saying that. Everyone says that.
Yeah. But the problem is now, if you go to 10 people at Tinley, random people, and you say, who's Ralph Davis, 7 of them aren't going to know, so
sad truth.
It's just the way it is right now.
That's why, man. I mean, I think, but I don't know, Ralph, if you're listening to this and you give a fuck, please come on this show. Motherfuckers would know you really quick. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, like, dude, I follow, me and Ralph are friends on Facebook. I see his life. Motherfuckers building homes and fucking fishing and doing some manly type shit, bro.
Yeah.
Ralph Davis is a fucking G, bro. Like, you gotta understand, no disrespect, but a lot of ball python breeders are only good at breeding ball pythons. Like, they don't have no other true skills. No disrespect. Yep. Kidding. No, look, there's some good do-it-yourself type builders, but I don't know. You see, I like meeting people who are like it's like ball pythons or snakes or whatever. It's just this much of everything they do. Like they have a fucking life of shit that they do, and I love that. Like, that's at the end of the day, like I love the animals, but like my hard work as far as like where I want to make like an income off of, and this is really difficult to do, guys, just so you know, is off this podcast. Like, I don't want to have to like worry about making so much money off animals, even though all my money does come from the animals right now, God bless. But like, it's just not a for sure thing, bro. Like, I just don't want to have to live like that no more. And
Right.
and you know, I don't know, like I just feel like the snake game is awesome. If you could breed animals, that's awesome, but you should not just count on breeding animals. Like, you should not just like sit there and I just feel like there's you could do more. I feel like, I don't know.
Well, that's the main problem in the hobby right now, right? Is everybody thinks that they could be Justin. They think that they could spend 20 grand and next year be Justin. You know, have a 30-foot high fucking Christmas tree. And you know, and that's just not the case. Like, and it's sad to say 90% of these fucking people are you're going to see collection sales from them within a year or two. But like, you could see when ball python people first come out and they're all excited, they name their company some dumbass fucking name, right? And they fucking,
Oh, you don't say.
They got an Instagram account already, and
Sticker swap.
done,
Sticker swap.
yeah, stickers. Yeah, fuck, I hate that shit. But they're so like fucking, like, you look at them and you're like, yeah, you can almost tell, like, yeah, you're not going to be here next year. Keep spending that money, right?
No,
but
yeah, go ahead.
you need those people. I mean, you need those people, because those are the people that keep the 10% of the ball python crowd that actually is doing important shit afloat. You know, so
and you know what's crazy, Chris? In that 10% grows to be somebody who is doing the shit that I mean, obviously Justin's in his own little fucking world and Pluto, whatever he's at, but like, everyone's in their own world in this shit, which is awesome. You have Ozzy in his own planet, you have Miguel in his own planet. You could literally do your own thing with time, and but honestly, it just has to be meant to be, bro. Like, it's like anything else. Like, you know how many people I went to school with who were like phenoms in sports, and did they go professional? No, it just
of course not.
It just didn't work out. But that doesn't mean it's impossible. Things happen when they're meant to happen. Like, that's the thing. And you can't force yourself to be noticed. You can't force yourself to get followers. You can't buy. This really bothers me, Chris. People who buy followers, people who,
that's crazy. So stupid. Yeah.
I'm not even, here's the thing. I can't even single anyone out, because I have homies. I got people, and I don't, this is what hurts my heart. I got people that I fuck with that buy followers, and I know that. Like, I know they got fake followers, and that's like, it's like a fucking, like, God damn it. Like, why? Like, what does that do for you? Like, even buying subscribers don't pay your fucking bills on YouTube. You guys know that, right? It's the who comes and watches your show. It's the views. But I feel like people want to go to bed knowing I got this many number of people who are looking at me, but at the end of the day, you bought those fucking followers. Like, it's not genuine, it's not real. And you know, I see people who've been in this game for like 2.5, 3 years, and they have like 3,000, 3,500 followers, but those are legit fucking followers. Like, if you go look at their page and you look at their likes are just as much as people who have like 20,000, and like, so like, I don't look at all that fucking shit. And you know what's funny? I caught on to that fake following shit really early in like 2017. Because, like, you know, Miguel kind of put me onto it, not to buy fake followers, but he like kind of said like, yeah, you know, that guy buys, you know, he's buying followers, right? And I'm like, I was like, really? But anyways, that right there that's just not authentic. And no matter what, I get the saying, fake it till you make it, but that's not the way to fake it, because you're literally buying air. You're buying shit that's not really going to come back and buy a snake from you at some point.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. I mean, in like 2011, we bought Facebook followers, right? Because one of my partners was like, "Oh, we got to get our followers up. We only have 2,000 or 3,000, right?"
Right.
And literally, he gave somebody some money, fucking, and like 2 days later, we had like 36,000 followers. Right? And I was just like, "Dude, this makes us look like fucking morons," you know? Like, everybody knew we had 3,000 followers on Tuesday, and now on Thursday we have 35,000 followers. Like, what kind of shit are we putting out? Literally sold
suspect.
And we sold no snakes that year. No, none. 35,000 followers, no snakes sold.
That 35K look good though, huh?
Yeah. For almost a second it did. Yeah, you know, like, you ever see Office Space when they did the they're like, oh, you know, it'll be a couple of grand a month, it'll be fine. And then the first month they got like 100 grand, and they're like, fuck, it doesn't work too good, you know. So
they go to withdraw money, it's like 400 grand in their account.
right. So it's just fucking crazy.
He's like, I fucked up on a decimal.
Yeah. Well, like in Superman, yeah, it's like, you know, the nice thing is that we did everything wrong. When we started the snake business, we did a lot of shit right, but fucking, and we did make some money, but the majority of the shit we did totally wrong.
And you know what's crazy is like, I mean, you really got to be a dumbass if you are coming in a nowadays and age and really can't understand how to hang in this, because there's so many people doing it right now. There are like all this shit that we're that 10%. You gotta understand, there's people, like I said, that graduated years after years into sticking out, and now they're in the upper 50-60% of people who are going to be doing this for like 20 years. You know what I mean?
Right.
And those people are those people show themselves. You know what I mean? But the ones that are just so after their following, you know what I mean, and not really concentrating on what they're working on, because at the end of the day, if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing and showing your work every day, because I do agree on posting every day. You should post every day to get your work out there. But, you know, you got to be posting your work. It's just not about you, you know, and it sucks because you know, with animals, it comes with people wanting to make it about them. You know what I mean? And as you know, too, the influence side of things, which, you know, I walk a thin line with that, bro, because a big problem with what's happening with our US ARC issues and shit are fucking these goddamn influencers on YouTube doing the most outlandish shit. If it's either hunting an iguana and cooking it, or fucking, I don't know, the free handling thing. I don't want to disrespect nobody out there, but it's not cool. Like, I'm just not happy with it no more. Like,
well, here's the thing with free handling. Once somebody gets killed from a cobra bite or a mamba bite, then everybody's going to lose ball pythons, garter snakes, everything. Because once somebody actually, a high, you know, a well-known guy gets killed like that, then it's all over for everybody. Even the people that were doing it all right, you know, from the get-go. So free handle all you want, just don't drop it on YouTube, you know? Drop it on fucking Patreon.
But that's the problem. Like, there is no not putting it on YouTube. It has to be on YouTube now.
Yeah.
Like, that's motherfuckers can't, bro. Like, here's the thing. The reason why I said no disrespect to anyone who free handles is because there's people out there who really truly enjoy free handling privately, alone. They do this shit off camera at their own risk, but they know they don't want to make this message out there. Because, dude, bro, I had a rattlesnake. I was holding one. I was a free handler. It's the best thing on earth when you're holding a fucking snake that can literally put you out. You know what I mean? Like, it's a rush, bro. It's and honestly, I got that itch. I got that itch to where if my wife wasn't so on my fucking ass, because, dude, I would send videos to Forrest. He'd be like, "Yo, you're an idiot." I would send Steven Forrest. I would send you know, videos to like Steven, people I respect, and they were just like, kind of like letting me know, like, "Yo, bro, like, that's just too, like, you're doing too much." You know what I mean? And luckily I had homies that kind of instilled that in my brain, because if I didn't, bro, like, I would have thought it's okay. And I probably, like I said, if I didn't have this fucking wife, you know, hot wife, by the way, really hot. If I didn't have this wife telling me like, "Hey, listen, fucking, you better fucking stop doing what you're doing or I'm out." You know what I mean? And straight up. And that's, you know, at the end of the day, like, I just know I'm not meant to have any venomous, anything that could kill me. I'm not meant to have.
Right. Well, once you hit 40, you just start thinking, you know, I'm way past the age of needing an animal that could fucking kill me. You know, like it's just not even worth it. We had an alligator for a while, and I was just like, all right, this is getting like a tad bit ridiculous. I grew up in the fucking Bronx, middle class, like, fucking, come on. I got a fucking alligator now. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And that's when
I bet that was going on through your head while this thing was about to kill you.
Well, what happened was the girlfriend wanted it. So because I'm a pussy and I do whatever the hot girl says, I'm like, yeah, we could have the alligator, no problem. And you know, next thing you know, you got an alligator, you got a couple of cobras, you got fucking rattlesnakes, and you're like, what are we doing here? You know, so that lasted very shortly. I mean, within the span of a year, I was just like, this is like, I'm getting bit by Savannah monitors and I want to kill myself because they're biting me in the hand and it's the most painful thing that I ever, felt. I don't need a fucking rattlesnake in there, that could fucking kill me. So it's like I have no interest in doing any of that right now.
Hey, I have to ask you, Chris. Me personally, like when it comes to these podcasts, like I have a roster. Like I have fucking, I keep like a pipeline of people that I want to bring on. But what I do sometimes, if I kind of like bring somebody on who could really help me in a position I'm in. Like, let's just say, for instance, like I just hatched green tree monitor eggs, right? So like I would see like, well, who's a green tree monitor on this list, right? Like, or who's somebody I could like relate to what's going on in my life. Did you ever do that? Like, did you ever bring a breeder on that was like helping you out with either a project or something that you wanted to learn more about? Like, because this is the biggest reason why I started this podcast too, is because how much I learned from it. So I'm just curious on like what you were learning or like what your angles were when getting your guests and whatnot.
No, I didn't really care. I mean, I'm just like, like there's enough. I mean, and it's been this way for years. There's enough podcasts that you could go to learn shit. And you don't got to listen to me. To learn shit. Fucking, as a matter of fact, I would willingly tell you if you listen to me, you're not going to learn dog shit, right? So fucking the people that I have on, I just want to make the people that are listening laugh. So really nobody that I've had on has taught me anything. I mean, that's
right on. I don't know what to
because I really just don't give a shit. Like it's just like, it's like all right, like the people that are like,
I've never heard in my entire life. This is realest shit I've ever heard in my entire life. I was not expecting this answer at all. This is why I like this guy. I didn't think he was going to say that. I really didn't think he was going to say that. That was too funny, bro.
No. You're right there, Panama Red.
Yeah, we're good. You're good. All right, so now as far as like your angle, as far as what keepers you bring on, because I mean you brought doctors on. I mean, I like I mentioned earlier, one of my favorite shows that you've had was with Warren Booth. Shout out to Warren Booth. But like what are like have you had anyone on with the argument with this whole venomous handling thing? Like, has this been brought up on your podcast before and whatnot? Has people expressed how they feel about that shit?
In passing, yeah. I had another doctor on, Travis Wyman, who was just like, fuck these venomous handlers that do it for views and do it for all, this other shit. So, but again, I really don't like, this is going to sound fucked up, but I don't care. I mean, listen, the bottom line is that if you're not good at venomous, eventually you're going to find out that you're too slow one day, right? And fucking you're not going to be able to dodge what you think you're going to dodge, and you're going to drop dead. I don't really care. And like there's so many people that I wish would just drop dead. So it's actually just adding, it's just, it's just kind of working into my favor. If I'm like, yeah, keep handling that cobra, dude.
It's a matter of time.
That rattlesnake. Yeah, it's just a matter of time. So,
and that's why I got rid of my bro. Honestly, like I never put on the Instagram touching the rattlesnake, everything, because I knew better. Like that for sure. I was like, I'm not gonna fucking let my followers see this. But like, but that's not why I fucking wanted to like. That's not why I got rid of it. I got rid of it because I knew it was a matter of fucking time. And guess what would fuck everything else I'm doing? That bite. That bite would diminish everything. It probably this podcast. I would have been bitten by now. I feel like 110%.
Right.
I would have been bitten.
Right.
I got rid of the rattlesnake 2 years ago. Gave it to Miguel. Shout out to Miguel. But Miguel took the rattlesnake.
Well, we had venomoid cobras at one point, right? And we would check them every now and then to see if they had venom, right? So, do you know who Tom Baker was?
Tom Baker. Why does that sound so fucking familiar?
He was the first one that came with the crystal ball. the crystal ball python. He was
Okay.
right in Orange County by you.
Okay.
So
sounds really familiar.
we would test out the cobras every now and then, and you know, we'd put the wrap over a cup, right? And Tom would grab the cobra because I'm not gonna fucking do it, right? And I would hold the cup, right? So the
Right.
cobra would bite the cup and no venom would come out, right? So so Tom was like, "Yeah, see, it's fine. You know, it's not, you know." And I'm like, "What if the snake just knows that it's a cup, right? And isn't wasting any venom on it, you know?" And Tom fucking started shaking after that, right? And he just threw the snake in the fucking corner and we both ran out of the fucking room. We had to call another guy to come get the cobra and put it back in the cage. So
Oh my God.
it's just like there's just no point in keeping venomous. And you know, if you're in a zoo, of course, you know, keep the venomous shit. But you know, I don't think that like fucking Billy down the block from me should be keeping rattlesnakes in his fucking house, you know, in his mom's basement.
And Billy down the block is subscribed to all those free handlers that are like
Oh
hero
yeah,
kids.
yeah, 100%, yeah,
He probably
100%.
has posters of them in this fucking room and shit, you know, doing weird
Yep.
shit to himself. I'm just
Yep.
kidding.
No, that's all right. Billy's fucked up. Billy's a pervert, man.
Hey,
So-
real quick, I gotta say, okay, I want to know more behind the 15 minutes of lame, okay? Because bro, by the way, motherfuckers killing themselves to win this shit. Just so you know,
No,
fucking
yeah.
you got people cheating, you got fucking
Yeah.
people paying off other people, you got racism going on. There's no racism.
That's
but-
probably racism. Yeah.
But dude, it was like I was like, this is because when I went to go vote for the homie Antoine, and shout to them, the winner of this year's 15-minute
Yep.
lame, Antoine Hood. But I went to go vote for the homie Antoine, and I saw how many people were voting, and I was like, dude, that's a lot of fucking votes. Like, so I was like, dude, this is a lot of people are about this shit. So what's the story behind the 15 minutes of lame? What is it really all about? If you could kind of help me out with that.
Well, I just thought it would be funny for me to call on new breeders and put a spotlight on how much money they've lost and how much they haven't made back yet in this fucking hobby. And I thought that would just be funny, right? And the answer is always the same, no matter how, you know, you go listen to any 15 minutes of lame for the last 2 years, and you'll be like, how much have you put into this? And they're like, around 80,000. And you're like, how much have you made back? And you're like, nothing. And I'm like, well, it's been 3 years. And they're like, oh, it's a growing year this year. And you're just like, yeah, all right, jerk. And what I'd like to know is, where are these fucking 25-year-old kids getting 80 grand to pop into this fucking bullshit fucking or ball python shit now? So it's like when I was fucking 25, I didn't have 80 grand to fucking, you know, to blow on shit. So
Right.
that was the whole point of the 15 minutes thing. And then I kind of thought it might be a fun way to get new breeders involved, because out of everybody, you know, if you have 12 or 24 people on during the year, 1 or 2 of them is gonna become a big shot. You know, for instance, Antoine. You know, Antoine shouldn't have even been on 15 minutes because I should have gave him a main spot right off the bat, right? But
Respect.
but he, you know, he's one of the guys now that the bigger guys, if they're smart, are going to look out for in the next couple of years. Shane Kelly, same thing.
100%.
You know, so
and respect to Antoine, he was in this game 10 years ago, and
exactly.
He took a hit and came back. So I mean, like, you know, that's why I really feel like, as far as when I look at Antoine, he's somebody who already came in learning from experiences, you know, and you know, and he's a fucking grown ass man. Like that's and dude, you know, I have a Patreon page full about like 70-ish people, right? And it kind of has like an age, like a meter how old all my Patreon members are.
Right.
And like, dude, everyone's 30 and up for the most part.
Right.
Like I have fucking, and that's why, not only that, like a lot of ball python friends that I met in the beginning were my age. Like I mean, and some had kids, but a lot of them didn't. So that's why I was like, bro, like let's fucking talk about the money side of this shit, you know? And like, let's fucking get to the nitty gritty, and like, you know, let's bring people on who are actually making money, because if it's one thing people could put a big front on, and that's why people thought like Miguel was full of shit, was like that people could make it seem like they're making a lot of money off snakes, but they're really not. You know what I mean?
Right.
But like that's that time tells. Like you can only fake that for so long. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like that's
right.
that's not something that's a longevity type fucking fake. Like that's you're only faking it to hope you kick in. But I don't know. Let me ask you this: how many people have you not even brought on, but people that you maybe known that fallen off and stopped breeding over the years? I mean, has it been a lot of people?
Hundreds, yeah, hundreds.
Right.
But right now, there's more people making a living at it than ever before. Like I would say,
Sure.
probably half of my friends are making a living at ball pythons. Now, it may not be a fucking great, living, but it's definitely more than a 20 grand a year McDonald manager job, So they're doing pretty good. And the nice thing is, when you live anywhere outside of New York or California, 40 grand, you're
take you long ways.
Yeah, you're in the upper middle class if you make 40 grand a year, So, so a lot of my friends are making a living at it. The people that are trying to make a living at it, it is pretty funny to watch them because they just, every one of their posts seems to be about what they want to get but haven't gotten yet because they can't afford it or whatever.
Oh God, good point, bro. Listen, you know what fucking stomachs me is when I go to somebody's page and it's full of other people's snakes.
Yeah, that's the worst.
Yeah, like, and I'm like, wow, you got 6,000 followers, but it's all Justin Belka snakes. It's all Miguel snakes. It's all like, oh my, look at my guy. And like, it's like, dude, stop fucking sucking dick. Like for what, like it's two different. You're sucking dicks two different ways: to get clout and to like try to like brown nose. Like, and like I get it. Like you're showing off animals for somebody else in respect, but like, how about you implement your own animals in your posts?
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing, dude? Are you just an influencer on Instagram? Like, and like, I don't know, but that's why I don't follow that many people because I'm not here to get fucking fluff followers. I want to really fuck with your work. If I follow you, I really want to be motivated on with what you're doing. And at the end of the day, the ball pythons is not my main motivation. I mean, it don't get me wrong. I love them and they're my staple, but God damn, I'm working with other species that are like my real passion, like shit that's really driving me to want to do something with these animals. But the ball pythons, I'm sorry. Like at some point, it's going to be like right now it's 60% ball pythons, 40% other shit. It's going to be 50-50 at one point, and it's going to start going less at probably some point because no disrespect. I'm just saying, like, I'm just, I don't know.
Well, that's the other thing too, is the amount of people with fucking 100 views and 80 views on a video that call themselves influencers is just a fucking, I mean, come on, guys. I mean, if you have under 100 views, you're just getting in the way as far as I'm concerned,
Right.
But,
I mean, if you're staying at 100 views, because with all due respect, I started at 100 views, you know what I mean? And the thing is, people just don't evolve or they don't do something different or be themselves. Or like, here's the thing, you want to know, so many people they stop vlogging after so long because this YouTube shit just baits people in. It's they see Miguel and they see Barcheck and they see all their views, which they don't know that this shit, their views go like this, bro. YouTube, with all due respect, YouTube, you fuck with all this. You're in control of it, who watches what, and that's just what the end of the day is with that. You know what I mean?
Well, that's the other thing. Like we did a couple of hot chick episodes where it was just hot chick breeders, right? And people were fucking commenting like he's just using this to get YouTube views, and I'm like, motherfucker, I got a job. I don't need YouTube views.
I thought that was a really fucking smart idea to bring women on your show. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
like that needs to happen more. Like I respect.
We got slammed for it, man.
That's bullshit. I mean, I need to do one. Fuck that shit, and we'll all do one. We'll see who wants to talk shit. Fuck that.
Well, I was gonna do a hot guys episode, right? See if it worked the other way. Yep, that's right.
It's happening right now.
That's what I'm saying. Listen, I'm getting a little echo. I'm going to sign out and come back in. All right.
Oh yeah, go ahead. All right. I'm gonna take this moment to fucking make sure everyone's smashing the like button for my man.
Smash the like,
Chris Eaton, please, guys, because about a shy of an hour in, and I got more to talk about. We haven't even gotten juicy with this shit yet because we got some stuff we want to get off our chest. So Please do your boy a favor, MJ. We're gonna end 2021 with a lot of likes. Let's smash that like button for my man Chris Eaton. Here he is. He's back here. What's good, Chris? All right.
Good, man. Sorry about that. So
Go ahead.
How many people are even watching this right now?
About 100.
No, get the fuck out of here. Really?
Yeah.
100 people listen to my dumbass on fucking on New Year's Eve. Oh.
Dude, okay, but listen, you gotta understand, the people who listen to my dumbass and the people who listen to your dumbass all are coming together to hear both our dumbasses talk. You feel me?
Yeah.
And
Yep.
dude, hey, listen, you got your followers that you're really you appreciate, man. You got your people that listen to you because, I mean, at the end of the day, man, like, they don't have to listen to us. I mean, they really don't. Like, this is,
right,
I
of
mean,
course, yeah.
and honestly, like, I do give it all to the guests. Like, anybody who comes to watch this show is because of the guests. So at the end of the day, I will say, oh yeah, like, half is mine, half is yours. This is all for you. I mean, people are tapping in to listen to this shit because of what you've been bringing to the reptile fucking industry and what I've been bringing to the reptile industry. You know what I mean? So
well, that's the fun thing about this is that when you asked me too, I was like, MJ and I are probably, like two of the biggest small reptile podcast guys.
Right.
Like, neither one of us are Barchak or Miguel or whatever, but we do have enough people that listen to us and like us, I think. But it's amazing because I'll still get a dozen emails a week that tell me I suck and to go kill myself. But fucking it doesn't even matter because I'm just like, hey, I'm selling a lot of fucking shirts, man. So fucking, as long as more people buy shirts than tell me that they hate me, then I'm good with it, So,
right.
But I would get mad if somebody like talk shit, like it would keep me up.
Oh, you got muted. You got muted. You might need to exit out. Oh, I like where he's going with this though. Let me see. He'll come back, but I know where he's going with this topic. And motherfuckers who like to talk shit used to keep me up at night too. It was really, not too much, but certain people, it sucks when it's the ones you really thought you fucked with talking shit. And I'm real curious to see what Chris says about this topic, because this is when the juicy shit comes. I hope you guys are ready. What is good, Chris? You there?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry about that. I don't know what's happening here.
But go continue what you were saying, please.
Oh no, I was just saying that the more, as long as I have more people that like me than hate me, I'm good, and I don't get aggravated when people talk shit, about me online anymore. I don't feel the need to go in and defend myself because you'll never win that game.
But let me ask you this. There was a point in time where it did fucking bother you, right? Like,
fuck yeah, totally.
And let me ask you this. It wasn't because, and I could be wrong, but it wasn't because the Joe Schmo was talking shit. It was because it was someone you actually fucking thought you fucked with talking shit. Like, what were the comments you were reading, or like what were the things really kind of like getting under your skin when it came to like social media of people talking shit, or like email or whatever? Like, if you could enlighten that for me.
Okay. So for instance, people were talking shit about that hot chick episode, didn't even listen to the first hot chick episode.
Right.
Okay, didn't get the point that we were really trying to spotlight the women and not fuck Bob Smith. That's right. Yes. I don't even know who Bob Smith is, but fuck him.
We can get into that. We can get into that later. Don't trip.
Okay. All right. Anyway, they didn't even listen to the fucking episode, or they didn't even listen to one of the podcasts before they started talking shit, and you could clearly tell that. So one bigger guy said something, a guy from England, and and I got kind of aggravated and like hurt my feelings a little bit for maybe 6 hours. And then by hour 7, I'm like, fuck that fucking English prick, So right. I don't really let the shit bother me anymore. I just don't care.
I mean, I came to find out I love UK, man, but UK got fucked up people like America does, bro. Like there's
Yeah.
just,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
they're you know, like I was kind of I don't know, I don't want to get too much into it because I don't want to disrespect any UK people out there. I fuck with UK at the end of the day, and you know, some of my favorite ball python breeders are UK breeders. Shout out to Dorset Pythons, Gavin, Urban. But I'm just saying, like, there are fucking some fucked up people out there, as there is here. And the reason how I found that out is on this podcast, like spamming the fucking live chats, talking shit. Like, you know, I had people like literally fucking trying to flex and like bang on my podcast while I'm talking. Like, come on, really? Like, you're really trying to prove a point right here? Like, this is so stupid.
Well, I feel the same way about Canada now, especially after this year. I'm like, fuck everybody in Canada, right?
Really? I fuck with Canada, bro. Canada.
No, except the women, okay? The women are hot as fuck, right? But there's some pigs there too, but fucking most of the women are hot as fuck. But not guys like Billy and fucking Mandic. You know, those guys I love, but fucking these people in Canada that think they're hot shit, and I literally just heard of them this year when I started following. You know, so fucking, I'm just
wait, hold on. Royal Canadian, that guy's an OG though. You got to get respect to Will. That's my boy. You follow Will, right?
I think I follow him, but I don't watch what he does. I don't give a fuck. You know, I don't really give a. I don't give a fuck what Billy does. You know, but the difference is like Billy knows that I don't give a fuck. You know, and Billy will still send me memes and fucking funny shit all day. You know, and check in on me and call me. So.
But also too, Chris, to your defense, you've been doing this for a minute. Like, you know, like this, like me, I'm still high. This is my second year breeding ball pythons. I'm very brand new, bro. That's why my energy is like, Forrest used to laugh at me. Forrest used to be like, bro, he's like, you are literally me 10 years ago. Like, he's like, all this shit that you want to fucking check people about, all this stuff you talk about, it's all stuff that's pointless. He's like, you understand in 5 years, all this stuff you care about is going to become pointless. Like,
right. But like, I watch you sometimes with all the fucking MJ in the building, smash that subscribe, do that, and I'm just like, I can't do that. You know, I mean, you know how stupid a 48-year-old guy would be like, yo, Fatman in the building. You know, smash the like.
I am very immature for my age, and that's because I was born that way. A doctor told my mom, says she said I'm mature 5 years younger. I swear to God, I heard that when I was like 12 years old or some shit. And I ran with that.
I am. Look, I have a dick and fart joke podcast. That's really all I do. You know, like I will laugh at a fucking midget farting every time. But like fucking, that's just one of my things. Like every time it happens, it can happen 100 times. I'm gonna fucking laugh at it every time, right? So that's the podcast. Like the people that guest on my show and sponsor me. On paper, we should not be friends. Like on paper, I would not be friends with Justin or Brittany or fucking Miguel or Warren Booth or fucking, you know, if you put us together on paper, they would bet against me. They'd be like, no way, you know. But the thing is that, you know, bring something to the table. And I know that I can make people laugh, and that's the point of the podcast, is just to make people laugh. So I think that kind of, you know, like cuts through all the bullshit. Is that, you know, hey, I just want to make you laugh. Fucking, I'm trying here to fucking make your week a little bit better, because I know how shitty most people's weeks are. You know,
right.
So
exactly, because at the end of the day, like, you know, we all have lives that aren't as easy as others, so sometimes they just want to, you know, decompressing and just listening to shit like this really helps. And honestly, dude, Chris, you gotta understand, like in the beginning, with me being the way I was was seeing people like talking shit because the way I cuss, the way I smoke, and like calling me a gimmick, like, oh, he doesn't even really smoke. And I'm like, what? It's like, motherfucker, I do this for reals. Like, this is not like a joke. But like, what really pushed me, Chris, like what really made me realize, like, fuck all these fucking wannabes talking shit, were like people saying, hey man, like, you got me through my week, like I haven't been doing this and that, and like honestly all I do is listen to your shows. And like, these are comments coming after a year of me doing a podcast and just me putting shit out. And like, I don't post them as much as I still should, but bro, I post comments like that because that's what drives me. When I know that
it makes you feel good. Yeah.
bro, because like I normally don't make people feel good. I grew up making people feel like shit. Like that's just
Right.
you
Oh,
know,
so did I. Yeah.
I was just a motherfucker. Like that's just how I was, and it was what it is. Like I'm
Mm.
not trying to say I'm proud on who I was, but I'm proud where I came from. Like I'm proud
Right.
that I fucking arose from where I was, and this shit, like this whole podcast, the animals, meeting people who inspired me, really taught me about empathy, bro. Like it taught me to really like give back to people the way people gave me a lot in this reptile game, bro. Forrest believed in me, Miguel believed in me, Barcheck believed in me. Like these are all people who fucked with me when they didn't have to. You know what I mean? And that right there is what inspired everything with all the comments and shit. But bro, that's there's so much noise that could really affect what people are doing in this game. And if you're good at canceling out that noise and staying focused on what matters, you're good, man. The whole tunnel vision saying is so true, man. Like
Yeah.
because as you get going, like as your gear start moving and you start moving up, the people that once supported you, they stop fucking with you because they see it. They go, oh my god, this motherfucker's like he either passed me already or he's gonna pass me. But that's when you notice they stop liking your pics. They stop fucking. You just notice these things, and I'm just somebody who notices things like that, and that's why as I dude, with all fucking not trying to toot my own horn, but I fucking I blew up fast in this shit, dude, like really fast. And a lot of people don't like that. Like a lot of like I had a lot of people I was close with that eventually like I had one motherfucker tell me, "Oh, you shouldn't get Bell's phase monitors. You're not ready." And I'm like, "What?" Like, and like, it told me like, if you do that, I'm gonna fall. If you buy that monitor, I'm not gonna follow your work. I'm like, and this was a friend of mine. Like, this was like somebody me and Forrest were friends with, and this motherfucker literally went to the extent to unfollowing me. He stopped. He like literally started telling people I was a bad guy. Like it, dude. And you know what's funny? Guess who I'm talking about? Bob Smith.
Oh, really? Ah,
I'm not gonna say his name, but do you want the quick rundown on who Bob Smith, like what the story is?
Sure, because I never heard of him.
Sure, why not? And with all due respect, if you have a fuck Bob Smith Trap Talk with MJ shirt, that's a classic shirt. I will not be releasing any more of those shirts just to be professional. I will not release those shirts anymore. But let's talk about the story real quick of Bob Smith. So back when I still have Unfiltered Reptiles podcast with Steven, Kush, and Desiree. Do you know those two? Do you know Cold Blooded Cafe? Okay. Shout out to the team. But when Forrest passed away, me and Steven, we still want to do the podcast, and Desiree wanted to, I asked her, hey, do you want to be a part of this? Like, because she loves the animals and she's been through a lot, and she's still the fucking head honcho over at Cold Blooded Cafe and Reptech, right? So she was game, and she was going through a lot at that time. Like, God bless her. She was going through so much, but the podcasts were like kind of snapping her out of reality, I guess. But anyways, when she came on the show, I think it was like the second or third episode, she got an email. Okay. And it sucks because if I had the copy of the email, I don't know what I did with it, but Desiree, like, she's like, no, like, I don't know. Anyways, but there's an email. Okay. There's an email sent to Desiree to her Cold Blooded Cafe, her main account, her Cold Blooded Cafe email. Because if you go to Cold Blooded Cafe's website, Chris, you could leave a feedback. You could go to.
Oh, I know. They actually used to sponsor.
So check this out, right? So if you go to their leave a feedback, it has you leave a return email address, right? Just keep that in mind, right? So we're reading the email and it says, dear Cold Blooded Cafe, I want to say I am a huge fan of the Unfiltered Reptiles podcast. I think it's so great that you're bringing information to all the keepers. But the one thing you guys need to do immediately is get rid of MJ. MJ is somebody who's going to deteriorate your business. He's going to keep people from coming to you. He cusses. He talks about genitals. Like, bro, like literally going down to a T. Okay. Like, and basically at the end of the email, it says, if you continue to have MJ on your show, you will lose me as a customer. Okay. And it says, sincerely, Bob Smith. Okay. And then you go look to see the email. Okay, where's this email? It says bobsmith@gmail.com. So it's not even a real email, right? It's just like, Bob Smith clearly is not a real person.
Right.
Per se, right? But is he? He is. Okay. Long story short, after that email, Desiree sends it to me. I'm kind of panicking because I'm like, oh fuck, like Desiree's not gonna want to be a part of this no more. Like,
Right.
I thought I don't, because you don't understand. Like, I didn't know Desiree as well as I knew Forrest. Like,
Right.
I barely knew Desiree. So me and Desiree were just getting to know each other. So I woke up one morning and I have a snapshot of this email and I'm reading it and I'm like, and mind you, I'm still new in the podcast game and I'm being myself. People are telling me I'm too much. All this shit's going on. So I'm thinking, fuck, she's going to bounce. Like, I'm going to lose Desiree. Then Steven's going to be done. And then now I'm going to have to tone it down and be somebody I don't want to be. Like, I was very worried. Okay. Because she sent that and I didn't respond back. I didn't text. I didn't know what to say. I was worried. I was like, oh, fuck. I'm going to wait for her to what she's going to say after that. And then she wrote, fuck this guy. Keep doing your thing, MJ. I'm having a great time on the podcast. I was like, yeah. I was so fucking happy when that happened, dude, because I just didn't know what the reaction was going to be. But like, dude, I was yelling fuck Bob Smith that whole day. Ask my wife. I was just yelling fuck Bob Smith. Like, and I was just, because I was thinking in my head, I got to find out who this Bob Smith is, because I know it's somebody in reach, like it's somebody close.
Right.
And bro, sure enough, 2 years later, the individual we're talking about who was telling me not to get the monitor, or if I do, that was Bob Smith. And you want to know how that was Bob Smith? How it revealed? This motherfucker basically copy paste whatever the email like that he ranted. There was a certain part about diminishing your company, if you know something about that part, the way he worded it. This motherfucker directly texted the same thing to Steven and Desiree, but like but from his actual name, like from his name. So hello, you fucking idiot. Anyways, fuck Bob Smith to the day I die. That's just the way it is. Because dude, at the end of the day, Bob Smith is more. It's not just one person. Bob Smith it's a fucking goddamn Karen. It's Karen's husband. Okay, we all know what a Karen is, right? But Bob Smith is somebody who just does not like to see people growing. It really fucks with them. It really they have an insecurity because they don't know where they're at with themselves and they don't know where they're gonna go, or they maybe just don't have any goals. But at the end of the day, it's not my problem. If you're a Bob Smith, fuck, I'm sorry. Like that's. I hope I hope he's not a Bob Smith. I'm just kidding. But fucking for reals, guys. Like this is where I'm coming from. Like, yo, like don't fuck Bob Smith. What is good, Chris? Anyways, that's the story of Bob Smith.
No, I get it. Bob Smith is an amalgam of every dickhead in the reptile thing that's doing it better than you. That's doing it better than you and doesn't own any of the animals. That doesn't own, you know, but he's doing it better than you. That is 90% of this dumb industry, and the problem is that there's so many more Bob Smiths than the one that messaged you.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. That's why, like, a lot of people, hey, who's Bob Smith? I mean, yeah, technically there is the Bob Smith, but Bob Smith is it's a takeover. It's a worldwide takeover. Like there's that's a wave. Being a Bob Smith is like being a Karen, somebody bitching, complaining, something that doesn't even involve them. Like my monitors don't affect your work. Like, let me fucking do me. Like I'm like, I can understand the whole free handling thing, but am I doing that? No, man. Like I just want to learn. And what's crazy is like, this motherfucker knows who my friends are. He knows I'm fucking close with Sim Container and Stephen Cush and fucking people who work, Andrew Acevedo, people who work day to day with monitors. Like I'm coached. Like I'm fucking bred. I am groomed for this shit. I'm fucking ready to rock and roll. Like, and I put a lot of passion behind my work. But at the end of the day, like what somebody else does not pay my bills. So why do I give a fuck? I don't give a fuck. Like you say, like, you know, respect to anyone putting in work, but I don't give a fuck because I'm doing my own thing. And that's it. If you're putting in work, you should be putting in work. That's it.
Well, it's like what Paul Stanley said from KISS. He said, the only people that are going to tell you that you can't do something are people that tried it and failed. You know, so those are the only people, you know, the rest of the people are like, get that fucking monitor, you know, and you buying a fucking lace monitor does not affect me in any fucking way. So, you know, two. Okay. All right. So fucking good.
That was for you. That was for you, Bob Smith. You fucking idiot.
Fucking, I mean, the The problem, I mean, not to say that this doesn't happen in every industry, because I'm positive that it does. I'm positive it happens in the cat industry, in the dog breeding industry, and all that. But
Oh
it
my
just
God,
seems.
Aurora, that's dark. She got dark with it. That's my girl right
Yep.
there. Sorry, that's you
Yeah.
don't fuck with my
I,
trapper,
I
bro.
I only know Aurora from CUSSING, and she's normally so fucking sweet, man.
She's the sweetest girl ever. That's what I'm saying. Don't test the gangster. That's my girl right there. Oh my God.
But yeah, I mean, overall, I think that we have more white trash than like a lot of the other industries, but the white trash is in every industry.
I mean, I could tell you right now, there was a shit, like it was 99.9% white trash from the start of this reptile industry. That's what
Yeah,
started
yeah,
the
yeah.
reptile industry was white trash, unfortunately. I'm not calling like, fucking Tom Crutchfield white trash or anything. I'm just saying like the people I was scared of as kids, like with ponytails and like
Right.
in their basements, like, like, dude, do you understand?
Tattoos, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, I was obsessed with snakes because I never saw anyone who had them. Like it was like a blue moon thing. Like I would see it like throughout my life, and it would like imprint in my head, like, oh my God, that guy kept snakes. But like it was such a like underworld thing. Like it just like my
Well,
mom.
that's why it was so shocking to see, and this is probably a little bit before your time, but it
Right.
was so shocking to see Bob Clark, on the cover of National Geographic. Like here's a non-tattooed biker-looking snake guy that
Right.
makes his living, doing reptiles. So
Right.
I mean, there's so much white trash, and there still is just so much. I mean, it's almost like too much white trash. It's like I've had enough. Um, but I mean, not anybody that listens to my show. I mean, you guys are all awesome. You're not white trash at all. But it just is, and now you can't even say white trash on Facebook, so that you'll get a hate tag for it. So it's just you got to figure out clever ways to say white trash. And you know who else sucks? Under 30 white women. Okay. That just they're the worst. Okay. They're just the fucking worst. Like fucking it's just they are so like white people are horrible, man. It's like fucking it's not even cool. But yeah, those are my two main enemies with the show.
So under 30 white, excuse me, not white girls, just women in general.
No,
Under 30
no. Under 30 white women.
white.
White,
Oh, okay. You're talking
okay,
under 30 white women in general.
yeah.
Okay.
And white trash. Get along with everybody else, right?
Now, let me
Everybody
ask
else
you,
is fine.
did you ever do any of your podcasts at a show like Tinley or anything like that?
Yeah. I actually did the first NARBC in Texas, in Arlington. Was
Whoa,
the
what
first
was
time
that?
I did it. 2017, I think I did it.
Oh, okay. Wow.
And that's when I really kind of just fell in love with Texas. I was like, Texas is so fucking awesome. I mean, like fucking it's like New York is the worst, like it's the armpit of fucking America. And California, I mean, no offense, but that shit sucks too.
Dude,
It's like fucking
you want to know about New York? It's like, bro, I mean, like there's some gangsters in Cali, but there's a lot of fucking hippie pussy ass motherfuckers in California. And a lot of them, like if I don't recommend this, but like 8 out of 10 people who honk the horn at you aren't about this shit. Like they will fucking keep pussies if you get out of the car.
Yeah,
but in New York, motherfuckers, if you piss somebody off in New York, you are getting either spitting on or you're getting socked in the face, you're getting cold clocked. Like I don't fuck with people in New York. Definitely in the wintertime. I just keep to myself when I'm visiting back east because there's some shit that just pops off in New York, bro. Like
it's yeah. I mean, it's how you grow up. Like fucking. I remember being in a car with my father one time, and he got lost, and he pulled over to ask a guy for directions, and the guy was like, "Hey, Joey, this guy doesn't know where the fuck he is. He thinks he can get to the Tappan Zee Bridge from here. The fucking moron, right?" And I'm like, Jesus Christ, this guy's gonna kill. I felt like in Vacation when Chevy Chase was driving through Chicago, but that's just the way it is here. California. I mean, I fell in love with California when I was first there, but then I realized Like I remember going to LA for the first time. I was at the Chinese theater, or the not the Chinese theater, what was the big theater next to it?
The Avalon Theater.
The place where they used to film American Idol.
I don't fuck. I mean, I know there's Universal Studios and there's fucking
No,
Hollywood Studios and there's I don't know.
Well, it was some giant place on Hollywood Boulevard where a lot of TV events were. And I drove up to LA because a guy I knew, an opera singer from Poland who flew in to do a show at this giant place, right?
Mhm.
So I'm sitting there watching the opera guy and with my girlfriend, and I'm all pissed off. And I'm like, I can't believe I'm here watching this moron when I could fucking be outside taking my picture with a fucking stormtrooper or fucking Spider-Man, right? And but then you see that stormtrooper and Spider-Man during the day, and Spider-Man has holes in his costume. The stormtrooper smells. It's like it's the most style without substance place that I've ever been in my life. And granted, I was in Hollywood, so fucking you expect that, but it was kind of like that in Orange County and San Diego too.
I mean, I can tell you right now. I mean, I'm born and raised in San Diego, right? And I've lived in Washington. Love Washington, but the rain got too much. Lived in Pennsylvania when I was a kid, and I love PA, but fuck East Coast. You guys get real seasons over there. Like it gets super cold, and I'm just Cali boy, right? Lived in Texas, but there's fucking just flat lands. Like Texas is like you look around and there's nothing but just. And it's like, what the fuck is this? I need some sort of scenic fucking view. Like I need like a mountain or something. And there's nothing in Texas. It's very flat. But go ahead.
We were driving in Texas just the last time I was there. And I was driving for 4 hours from fucking Bryan to San Antonio. And there's nothing but open field and fence, right? And fence. And I'm just thinking, I'm like, who is paying for all this fence? Like, it's almost too much fence. But like my neighbor, my best friend Donato, he has like less than a quarter of an acre, and he put a fence up in his backyard, and it cost him $10,000. And I'm like, who the fuck is paying for this Texas fence that just goes on for miles and miles? But
it's funny
the people there are fucking awesome. Like I just love the people there.
And honestly, the people is what make. I feel like, I mean, Texas is what Texas is, but the people is what makes Texas. I feel like, and Texas stands behind each other, man. And I could tell you, I always bring this up, but a big learning and impactful thing for this podcast was when the Texas disaster thing happened. You know what I mean? That when that shit happened, and we had a pretty well-known breeder say some shit out of pocket and whatnot, and dickhead. We addressed it, we took care of it, but really, like at the end of the day, like the way everyone stood for each other, for Texas, you know what I mean? Like, because that, like, if it's one state we have to give it to when it comes to animal lovers, it's Texas.
Fucking A.
That's the Mecca. Like that's where, like, you gotta understand, a lot of these people are plotting to move to Texas with all this U.S. ARC shit hitting the fan. You don't think everyone's fucking already game planning their U-Haul fucking trip to Texas?
That's right.
It's already happening now.
The thing about Texas, I say this all the time, is there are more tigers privately owned in Texas than there are tigers left in the whole wild. Okay. So that just tells you how, how Texas is. And the thing is that the California people are already fucking up Texas, right? So fucking everybody started moving there now.
I'm also happy, but I'm sorry. That's all I got to say.
Well, what's going to happen is you're going to move to Texas, and you're going to be paying as much of a mortgage out in Texas as you are in California. That's eventually what's going to happen.
The biggest concern is, will you guys start to have California laws in Texas?
That would just be the worst, right? Like, fucking.
That's what motherfuckers are lock and loading, bro. It's fucking just because California is a submissive state. You come here and you submit yourself. You're just fucking whatever the government wants. Here's more money. I have this little fucking 2003 Ford Ranger that just cost me $92 to fucking fill up, bro. You know what I mean? And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I was sick to my stomach, and like, I'm not here to bitch about gas prices. What am I gonna do? Not drive? Like, I gotta put gas, but goddamn, like, it's funny. You still see people in these fucking lifted trucks in California that are probably putting 180 in their fucking tank or something crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. California makes you pay to live here, bro. It's not easy.
Oh yeah.
Especially
Well, the
San
thing is,
Diego.
because it's so fucking nice there. That's why.
It is, you pay it.
You know,
Paradise
I
Lost,
mean,
bro.
that's what it is. It's so
Yeah.
fucking nice there.
And
And that's the reason I
San
stayed.
Diego, bro. Okay, one thing that bothers me a little bit, and like now that I have a little bit of a following and people who want to come to like a West Coast show, if you make it to Anaheim or Pomona and you don't at least make it to come down to San Diego and at least see that part of Southern California, because
Yeah.
you know the big difference, bro. Like you've seen
Mm.
the rich part of San Diego, like Coronado, Shelter Island, like all that like shit that is just vacation shit. Like that's
Right.
LA is grimy, bro. Like it's dirty.
Mm.
It's, I mean, no offense, but LA County, even
Oh,
Orange
yeah,
County,
yeah.
like it's gross. It's like it's super saturated. So I feel like people like they cut themselves short. Because bro, I rep all day, every day. The best Mexican food is in San Diego.
San Diego. Yeah, no, there's no doubt about it.
110%.
Yeah.
And people could argue this all the time, and like half the people arguing this are people who've never even been here. That's what really pisses me off. But I've had food everywhere. I'm especially doing this podcast and shit now. Like I'm everywhere, fucking. And I food is very important to me, Chris. Like I love fucking food, bro. And the biggest, you gotta understand, me and my wife are looking to buy our first home together. God bless us. It's really difficult because it's it's just people are doing stupid shit. But we've considered Oregon, even Texas, and looking at other places. But if I leave what I have, I'm gonna break, bro. I am so spoiled with my food, with my fucking weed, with everything I have. Everything is right here in my grasp. So my goal is just to make it work, bro. I need because at the end of the day, I don't want gators, I don't want tigers, I don't want venomous. What I keep, what I love is legal here. And if we could just help US ARC, we'll be in good shape.
Right. Well, where in San Diego are you? You don't got to give me an address, but like where?
Motherfuckers would love that. I'm just kidding. No, I'm in. It's called Rancho San Diego. So like,
okay, all right.
I'm east. Yeah, so I'm still like 12, 13 minutes from downtown on the 94. Like, I'm right off the 94, dude. So
okay, I was in Carlsbad and Miramar.
Carlsbad's beautiful, dude.
Yeah, I mean, it really is fucking nice. I mean, it's just a great fucking place. I think for a while I was in Escondido, I think.
So you're NorCal, like North County. Not NorCal, excuse me, North County, San Diego. So like Escondido and shit like that. Carlsbad, Oceanside. Was he in the military? Let's find out. I think he was in the military. How many likes are we at? Are likes respectable right now? But Chris,
I don't know why I keep fucking getting booted. I'm sorry about that.
It's all good, bro. We'll figure it out. Listen, were you in the military? Why were you stationed? Why are we living in Carlsbad? Just curious.
No, I just moved out there. I moved to Orange County. Then I was in Orange County for about a year and a half. Then we decided to get a ranch out in Colorado. So we got a ranch in Colorado. And once I got to Colorado, I was just like, it's too cowboy for me. Like it's too redneck. Like you couldn't even go to Staples and get ink in one day because the truck didn't make it over the Rocky Mountains. So you can't get ink all week. So fucking it was just shit like that bothered me. But we sold that, and then we went back to San Diego and I miss Colorado like every day. I mean, Colorado is so fucking nice. I didn't appreciate it enough while I was there. But basically, I was a musician and a business owner, and we made a bunch of money doing that, and just would go back and forth. So that's why I was all over California.
Damn, that's crazy. And so, like you said, what year did you move back east?
I moved back here in 2011 or 12.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 2011, 12, and then like you said, that's when you went full ball pythons at that point, right?
Yeah, what happened was we were, I was looking at the nerd website and like a fucking bumblebee was like 60 grand. And like I was telling my buddy Donato, I'm like, listen, we should buy a couple of snakes, and even if we make $5 grand at the end of the year, at least it'll be a cool little retirement account, right? And he was like, yeah, let's do it, right? So then we brought in another guy who like was stupid rich, and he basically he was like, all right, let's do this. And fucking 6 months later, I had 300 snakes in my fucking house because he was just
Yeah.
buying shit to make it a business, you know? So it
Right.
became a business like way sooner than I wanted it to.
Now, I kind of want to talk about your breeding side of your experience with the animals. I mean, did you pick up pretty quick with this shit? Like, was it pretty like? I mean, did you have a rhythm or like a system that you were able to implement pretty quick with these ball pythons, or did you have a lot of trial and error?
First year, we had almost 100 clutches.
Oh my god!
Yeah, and and it becomes a job really quick after that.
Oh yeah,
Okay?
bro, dude. Yeah,
So,
for real. Yep.
and I remember like I was like, Justin and Ozzy must be hating me and Will Banks because I couldn't even identify these fucking things. I'm like, we put these 8 gene things together. I have no fucking idea what, you know. But no, I mean, ball python, like you got to be a real fucking moron not to have 2 ball pythons breed, right? Like fucking, it's like you just stick one in there.
Some people can't figure it out. Trust me.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, like I said, there's people out there, and I scratch my head like, God damn, like I think you should, like not everything should not have one eye. Like there's a reason why
right.
like this isn't like, oh well, this is just how it goes. No, it's not how it goes. Like I have not had any of this mutation yet. Like what the fuck is that?
Yeah, that it's fucking crazy. But I will tell you this: fucking, we didn't expect 100 clutches. We were just thinking if we put 125 together, maybe 50 will take, and we could handle 50 clutches between the 3 of us, right? And and well, that first year, I was like, "What the fuck?" Like, I think we had 4 sea serpent incubators the first year, you know, because fucking it was just like everything was hatching all the time, and you know, that's when we had to learn, you know, how to wholesale and how to do all this other shit. But fucking, it's it was fun. The next year we did not. I think the next year we had like 40 clutches, and you know, we kept it kind of about in between 40 and 50 for the whole time we did it.
But you blew out, like you came out smoking with all those adults that first year is what you're saying, right?
Well, what happened was we did what everybody else tries to do and fucking buy adult females. The only thing is that we had a fucking well-to-do guy in the company who would just buy the, you know, snakes he wanted. You know, so you know, a lot of people don't have that, so they gotta you know, bring up their animals, and you know, which looking back at it now, you would think that would be the way you want to do it. And I think that's really a function of getting older too, and knowing that, you know, the right way to do it versus the quick way.
What what were you selling your snakes under back then? Like what was the name of your company or
It's called eyeball pythons.
Eyeball, and are they still around or
No.
Eyeball? And so and I know you said wholesaling was something you did back then, but was that like the primarily focus was wholesaling, or
no, not at all.
How were you selling your animals back then?
We were doing shows. We were doing a lot of local shows. And then we did a couple of Tinleys. But you know, and Daytona, we did 1 Daytona, I think. But I've been going to Daytona every year for 5 or 6 years. It was mainly shows and Morph Market. When Morph Market first really came about in 2017, I mean, it really blew up for us on Morph Market.
Okay. Yeah. Now, what's your opinion right now? I mean, I gotta hear it from you, Chris, because you know you do have a lot of insight with ball python breeders and whatnot. But I mean, what's your true feeling with the ball python market and the direction it's going in the future? Like, what do you feel about it?
I'm not going to say it's too big to fail, okay, but it's going to become harder and harder to make a living at it. I'm sorry, it's going to become harder and harder to be cutting edge at it, because I think Justin said in your interview with him when you were there that it's almost like you know, you have to have 3 gene visuals, 3 recessive gene visuals now, in order to even like catch up with like a 3rd tier guy,
just to be relevant,
just to be even a little bit relevant, you know. So I think it's going to be harder and harder to become Justin's or Miguel's, but it's going to be I think it's going to be commonplace that people are selling ball pipe, like for a large part of their income, or at least maybe even full time. I think that's going to happen more and more. And I shit on ball python people all the time. So fucking, this is just me being honest. I think that, you're not going to make 500 grand a year doing ball pythons, but I think you could consistently, like even a dummy could make 120 grand a year on ball pythons.
I mean, that's why like literally people limit themselves, period. Like it's like people could say, oh, I can't do it because of this and that. Like, motherfucker, you have a wall? Do you have a wall? Okay, I guarantee that wall you could put this many racks and you can make this off that. Like it's
right.
But it's like, you gotta want it, bro. Like and the thing is, like, there's so many levels of wanting it, because once you start wanting something, you got to find out, well, what's behind it, right? Like me, like I found out I wanted to keep ball pythons just because I love ball pythons, but then the breeding side came with it, right? And I was like, well, what comes with the breeding? Like what really makes people? I instantly thought about this. What makes people really be able to say they can make something off snakes? And that's time. Period. It's time. Like if you are going to add shit and let shit raise up, eventually something will breed at some point. But it's also a numbers game. And the thing is with me, bro, like I didn't give a fuck about making a dime off any of these animals for like the first like 2 years, 3 years. Like not even my first clutch. I didn't give a fuck. I held that whole clutch back. I didn't sell not one of those snakes. It meant everything to me. I remember there was 5 snakes. 1 was a male and 4 were female. So I guess it was easy to hold back all of them. Right. But I didn't want to sell it. I wanted to hold that entire clutch back. Just because how much like working with snakes was bringing me out of a life that was fucking making me go down a shithole, bro. Like I was selling drugs, partying, just not in a good place. And working with a lot of animals and being a piece of shit druggie does not work out like that. If you're those two things, you eventually will become exposed and your animals will die, you will die, or something bad will happen when you are a big piece of shit druggie and you work with animals. Because that's the biggest thing too, bro. It really bothers me when motherfuckers can't take care of themselves, but they have all these animals. Right. And as you start to meet people, you start to see people like that. Like,
of course.
And that, like, fuck, dude, like in my own home state, bro, there's I'm not going to name drop shit, but there's somebody I looked up to heavily, and took me one visit to his fucking place to realize how big of a piece of shit this person was. And how fucking disgusting he keeps his animals and how he hoards things. And the list goes on. Like, I don't even want to go on because it's just pointless. And, you'll have his supporters fucking mean mad about it. But all I got to say is that really aggravates me, because that's somebody who has such a spotlight with these animals. Like they're somebody who's like looked upon as like, wow, that guy with all the snakes, you know what I mean? And, almost getting bit in the face and shit like that. Like, it's just certain spotlights that aren't making this hobby what it should be about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And,
but the thing is, though, I disagree with a lot of that shit. I mean, it's like, Barchek used to do that. You remember fucking Barchek used to, have that guy Chewy just get bit by fucking berms and fucking all this other shit all the time, and used to be like a lot of clickbait type of things. But guys like Jay, who are still from Prehistoric Pets, who are still doing shit like that right now, it's like, this is gonna I'm just gonna say it's gonna make me sound like a dick. Prehistoric Pets was a shithole 20 years ago. Okay, I mean, you would just go in there would be fucking animals dying in the fucking tubs. It'd be fucking animals clearly weren't eating, shit like that. I moved out, and apparently I thought everything got better. I heard he bought the stores in and around, and expanded a lot. And he charges people just to walk in the door now. I think he charges like $5 just to look around. But from what I heard recently, it's still not the best place in the world. And at the end of the day, I think that it brings a spotlight on people to do stuff like that. And I almost understand why he does those videos where he's just fucking reaching in the egg and yanking out a fucking snake. But especially with COVID, I think that the YouTube views replaced a lot of the income that he couldn't get opening the fucking store.
That's what
You know,
it is
that's
right
all.
there, Chris. That's what it
Well,
is.
yeah,
All those videos, all those fucking whoa,
but
right there, right there, dude. And that right there, that's I don't go ahead.
But you got to remember, he wasn't making that fucking money in 2020, 2021. It all stopped because of COVID and people couldn't fucking go anywhere. So he had to do something that would that would kind of up his views. And as a business guy, I get why he would do that, but him and I just don't get along. Okay.
I mean,
we haven't since I've known him.
I haven't even had the I mean, listen, I haven't hit up Jay or been like hateful to him. I don't, if I ever tell him, I'll tell him to his face how I feel about him, and at the end of the day, I'm just not happy with how I was once somebody like who I thought, listen, I kept big snakes because of Jay. Like I had 12 mainland retics because I saw what he was doing. And then as soon as I saw what he was doing, guess what happened 6-7 months after that? All my mainlands were gone. Because I was like, fuck this shit right here. Because at the end of the day, these animals deserve a lot of space. They're fucking big fucking animals, bro. And these retics have a personality where no matter what you put them in, they like to push. They like to just fucking push. And this motherfucker has retics with basically no face left. Like they don't push their fucking face gone. It's just eyeballs. Like I'm talking about a horrific fucking type shit you would only see in a fucked up movie. Well, guess what? It's not in movies. It's happening right now. Real life shit. I don't want nothing to do with it. I would never bring him to this channel. I would never ring him on live. I know I'm ringing him kind of now, but it is what it is. I don't give a fuck. These animals really mean a lot to me, and it sucked that I was fucking not really duped, but I could have been that misled idiot to still fucking breed retics and have it to the ceiling and put my wife in danger and all this other shit. Bro. Like,
well, here's the other thing. He has probably 7 or 8 retics in giant, massive cages, right? In the display part of the store.
Right.
So people don't know that there's 1,000 retics in the background that are in drawers that have no fucking room to move. Right. So I mean that's just something. I
don't know, man. Listen, at the end of the day, there are leaders in this fucking goddamn. Regardless if you want them or not, there are people who are the front people in this goddamn reptile industry, dude. And if you're gonna be the fucking example of this shit, and you better fucking wear that fucking coat right, dude. All I gotta say, I mean, I don't know. I listen. At the end of the day, I love animals. I'm fucking really about the animals, and seeing something neglected is why I love animals. Like, dude, you want to know why I love pit bulls, bro? You know how many times as a kid I would go by a fucking hood or just see a neglected pit bull, or I would see a fucking pit bull just not treated right, and like that, I love dogs, bro. Like in pit bulls specifically, right? But like the whole neglecting to animals is what makes me so passionate about animals. So I will go very 180 like on your ass if you go from being somebody who puts out a persona that look how gorgeous my animals are, but then I go and it's dead or just something terrible, bro. Like I don't know, man. Like I rather just cut myself from that shit and just let that be a fucking a cancer, because that's what it is, man. It's a cancer. It's something eating away at this hobby, and it's only going to be a matter of time when that shit gets wind to the wrong person, and they go and they see what's happening in that fucking place, dude. So I don't fucking know. Whatever. It is what it is. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, bro, there are people doing it right. It's small percentage, but I feel like the whole people who've been in this game long enough who could lead by example and show by example, they're the ones that need to continue to keep showing shit, because
of course,
no matter what, like whatever's popping right now, no matter who's, obviously Justin's popping, right? But there's new waves of people that continue to come in this industry, bro. Like there's so many waves that come in, so the more we get on top of this set by good examples shit with these animal keepings, the more newer people will catch wind of that and understand what's right for the animals. If it's one thing, we're talking about YouTube influencers, You know, there's fucking people who are Instagram influencers kissing mangroves on the mouth and just doing stupid shit too. Like it's all over every platform you could think of, especially TikTok. You told me you just started a TikTok, right?
Just starting a TikTok January 1st.
Tell me how that's been going. How's your fucking TikTok? Wait, you started January 1st.
Yeah, I'm starting it January 1st because I spent the last year and a half railing on TikTok, right? Like I used to love TikTok when TikTok was just homeless people peeing on each other. I thought that was brilliant. That was a great platform to have to just keep that, right? But then they started doing all these dumb chicks just looking at the camera and lip syncing to dumb stuff, you know. But then a friend of mine was like, dude, TikTok was made for your dumbass. But like, if you could just make people laugh in 30-second little increments, why don't you just try doing that? So I'm going to give it a shot. Plus Gary V fucking is saying, don't sleep on TikTok. So fucking
is Gary V on TikTok too now?
Big time. Yeah. Fucking.
Oh, I got to look at this. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I haven't posted in God knows I don't know how long because I kind of gave up on that shit. But let me see. Gary, is it under Gary Shavino? Oh, here it is. Oh, Gary. V, my bad. I was thinking Gary Shavino. I'm such a fucking idiot.
Oh,
my bad. Gary V. Okay,
yeah.
Gary V. Oh yeah, Gary V. Yeah, for sure. Gary, that motherfucker. I mean, he's somebody I've always been following for like the last 4 or 5 years, bro. He knows he's been speaking into the future for I don't know how long now.
Without a doubt. Well, and the other thing I saw is Bob Vu went down to Florida, fucking caught a tick, and got something like 30 billion views on the fucking video on TikTok. And I was like, all right, well, you know, let's give this a shot. And I'm probably listen, I'm a 48-year-old man doing TikTok. It's gonna be pretty gay, all right? It's gonna be very fucking not young and hip, all right? So, but
are you gonna do any dances? What's your first upload gonna be all about? I'm just curious. Are you gonna do a dance or what's happening?
No. My first upload is gonna be the "fuck you Ezekiel" thing. Did you ever see that?
Yeah.
It's gonna be that. It's gonna be a variation of that.
All right, good for you.
But it's just, you know, I figure why not have a little fun? See, I was in the hospital 2 years ago, okay, and I almost lost my leg. And after I came back out of the hospital, I was just like, you know what? It's time to kind of just do what you want and fucking don't give a fuck what other people do. And that's what I'm spending a lot of this year doing, you know, so.
Right.
Or this past year, you know.
So
I didn't mean to bring it down. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm fucking like really depressed now. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I know.
Listen, I got to ask, what was wrong with your leg? What happened with your leg?
I got some hereditary blood clot issues.
Oh,
so
shit.
they actually had to cut off like a huge section of the muscle in my leg, and I think I did something like 30 hours worth of surgery in 2 days.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
so your upper leg, you said?
No. Well, from just above the knee to down to the ankle. So you know, I think I had 70 staples just holding my skin together, and I'm like, oh, this is gross, you know.
Oh my God.
So and you know that's I was gonna start doing podcasts from the hospital because I was in the hospital for like 2 months, and then rehab for another month.
Long, bro?
Yeah. So and then rehab for another month. No, so after that, I just started buying toys like when I was like fucking 11 years old and 9 years old. Like I got a bunch of like I spent like fucking $4,000 in the hospital on eBay buying old like G.I. Joe toys and Star Wars toys, right? And my father would come visit me in the hospital and he'd be like, I went to your apartment today, you have 11 packages waiting for you. And then he'd come back the next day and he'd be like, I went to your apartment again today, you have 38 packages waiting for you, right? So when I first came home, I told him, I was like, hand me one of those packages. And I opened it up and it was like a fucking G.I. Joe figure from 1983, right?
Wow.
And I was all happy, right? And then I looked to my left and my father was just staring at me with this look of disappointment on his face. Like, he's like, I can't believe my 43-year-old kid has bought toys on fucking eBay. So Yeah, it was just fucking rough. But I just don't give a fuck anymore. We're gonna do what I want, and
Do what makes you
and
happy, man.
yeah, that's just the thing to do. So, and if it takes TikTok to fucking make me happy, and
Good
that
for you.
that same dumb video makes somebody else happy, I'll do that because people look at me like I'm a cunt. Like that's the general, that's the general like consensus of me is like, oh, Chris is a grumpy cunt, but he's lovable. He's like
Yeah.
like I have the ability to say dumb, stupid shit and still come off as likable.
Well,
And,
you ever see a dog or an animal like just fucking not like people, but there's certain people he likes. Like there's like
yeah.
and like like for instance, a dog likes what a dog likes, and that's bro. I could be somebody who like, oh man, that guy doesn't look like he's approachable, or like he doesn't look somebody like that would really want to get to know. But bro, really like I'm a nice guy if you give me every reason to stay nice. But like,
right.
I don't know, man. I feel like people. I think I dig too deep right off the way reading people when I meet them, but like people show their true colors right off the bat, bro. Like,
oh yeah, I don't think you do. No, fuck.
And I can't help but to notice if I see something, I'm just like, oh, I'm okay, I'm good. You know what I mean? Like, and the funny thing is, like, as much as I love going to these shows, it could get awkward sometimes meeting some people. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Oh my god, I fucking know, man. It's like
I had one guy literally. Like, I had a couple people like, yo, hey, where can I meet you? And like, I told one guy, listen, I'm going to be here, meet me here. And I just wouldn't be looking at my phone. Then like, it would be always like, hey, meet me here, meet me here, meet me here. And then like, literally the day would go by. And then I got this big, long, hey man, you ignored me. You walked right by me, didn't say hi to me. You acted like you didn't even know who I was. I'm like, when did I ever fucking see you, dude? Like you're what the fuck, weirdo? Like I don't know.
That happens all the time. That happens all the time. You know what else happens a lot is that this happened in Daytona for the first time, and it's been happening since. People just ask to videotape me on or video me on their phones, cursing them out. They're like, "Could you call me white trash?" And I want to put it on my TikTok or my fucking Instagram stories. So I just do that now. It's like, "Hey, monkey, fucking insult me for a little while," and I'm like, "All right, let's do it." So it's
fucking hilarious.
It's a fun thing to do, but I've had that same problem where you dudes are like, "Oh, you acted like you didn't even know me," and I'm like, "Dude, I don't even know your last name." Okay, like I don't fuck you. There's certain people where you just got to be that way with.
You have to, no, bro. And honestly, like I've had to be a dick. Like I'm like, bro, you didn't.
Yeah, of course.
Fuck, like, bro, like like.
I got people messaging me on Facebook like they're my buddies, and they're just like listeners to the show. But I made the mistake of answering them one time. Okay. Yeah. And then when you do that, you open up the floodgates to be like fucking, like I got dudes that email me every day. Now I don't mind when it's the chicks. I mean, like I gotta be honest, like fucking. Well, I mind when it's like the hideous chicks, but fucking when it's the good looking chicks, I'll talk to you all day long. But the dudes and the hideous chicks, just like enough already, guys. Like fucking. And plus, I got a day job, so I can't just talk to you all fucking day,
Right.
So. I know one guy right now is thinking it's him. Trust me, it's not you, dude. All right. So
this guy, no disrespect, but who are you? How do you know I looked overwhelmed at Tinley? I don't even know who the fuck you are. Like that's just weird. I don't, I just like I get comments like this, like, oh, he looks tired or something. Motherfucker, where were you at? Who are you, sir? Just so you know, I don't know who you are. So how do you know I looked overwhelmed? I was actually high off my ass and having a good time, bro. Tinley was definitely the fucking funnest show I've ever been at. Yeah, hands down, bro. Like. If you want to say I was overwhelmed, how about the overwhelming of OG legends I got to meet at that fucking place? That was fucking tits. Like, man. Go ahead.
Did you vend at Tinley or no?
I don't vend. I don't do that. I mean, I'm not gonna say I'll never vend, but I'm not that like that's a whole nother stressful fucking thing, like the whole vending thing. You know what I mean? So, but no, I was just there. Fucking, I did a podcast with Levance from Straight Fire. I did his whole family, the whole Straight Fire Reptiles team. And then, so I, just really partied and hung out the show, like really enjoyed. Here's the thing. Like I I don't go to shows to buy reptiles. Like that's no disrespect to anyone who slings snakes at shows. You guys make money, but unless I go by Bob Vu's table or some shit crazy, you know what I mean? But like, that's not my goal. I go to reptile show to not buy anything. And that's plain and simple. So sometimes when you have that goal, like really what makes the show is the vibe, people there, you know what I mean? And you know, sometimes some shows are hit or miss. Arlington's been fun, but like, you know, there's been hit or miss moments at Arlington. There's been hit or miss moments at Anaheim and Pomona, but Tinley fucking smacked on all levels, bro. Like it was just fun the entire time. Like, I don't know, man. It was a blast. You've been to a lot of Tinleys before?
Yeah. I've been to 6 or 7, but I vended it like 3 of them, and they were just the worst. I mean, you really got to like it is a working weekend when you vend at Tinley. Like you got to be on 24/7 because there's motherfuckers drinking in the lobby and at the strip clubs and not sleeping for 3 or 4 days. And you know, I just can't keep up with shit like that.
Right.
But it is fun going to the shows without having to vend and just hanging out and just seeing people. And you know, the last show I did an actual podcast from was Herp's Conroe show, and that was a fucking great show. I mean, I just love Sean Gray is just killing it with Herp. So fucking it's so much fun, you know, doing a Herp show. So I'm gonna go to a couple more of those this year, I think.
Damn. I do want to make it out to a Herp show. That's one of my goals in 2022. I had the pleasure of having Sean Gray on the show.
Yep, I saw that.
Because how many good things I heard about Sean Gray. And you know, it's I don't know if you heard the story with Sean Gray.
Oh,
but,
I heard it. Yeah. Because that was
I'm not gonna say anything, but you know who I was trying to call? You know who I thought he was, right? But,
well, I do now. Yeah, yes.
Okay, cool. So that's when I called him a meth head, I was almost on point. Like I was just,
right.
but I wasn't. You know what I mean? So, and that sucked because, you know, like I said, I learned a lot from that moment because I'm thinking, oh, as soon as I think it was Brock. I think it was that show when all that shit was happening. When he mentioned Sean Gray and he was talking good shit about Sean Gray. And I was like, who's Sean Gray? Why does that look familiar? And then I looked him up and I was like, wait a minute. That's not the,
that's not the meth head. Yep.
And that's not the meth head I was thinking about. This guy's not a meth head. And then like, literally I heard good things about Sean, like 2-3 podcasts after that. And I was like, oh God, like, so but look, I manned the fuck up. I went to him and I was like, yo, I'm sorry, bro. Like I fucked up. There he goes again. But yeah, I told Sean, I was like, oh, you're not the meth head. A, yeah, you're not a meth head. B, I thought you were a different meth head. Or I'm sorry, not a meth head. I'm just saying, what the fuck?
well, you know, the thing is that Sean and his wife Lori, they were supporters of the show, like probably within the first or second year, right. And I got to meet Sean for the first time, you know, last year, and such a fucking good guy, you know. Right. I mean, all the Texas people, like I'm not gonna go to Texas and ride a bull like fucking Miguel did. You know, like I'm not gonna do shit like that. Like I'm riding.
That's extreme, bro. I gave kudos to people who did it, but what the fuck point are you trying to prove riding a fucking bull? Like,
not only that, to fucking dive off the bull as soon as it leaves the gate, like Miguel did. I thought that was funny as shit. But I did get an offer from Robert Powers to fucking go up in a helicopter and fucking with a machine gun and shoot pigs. Okay. And that just seems like a fun thing to do. So I can't wait to do that. I'll do something like that, you know.
Wait, pretend I'm in again. Wait, are you really gonna do that?
Yeah, fucking A. Yeah. I'm gonna pretend I'm in Vietnam hunting Charlie. All right, fucking it's just
what's the deal? When's this happening? Can I pay and go?
It's probably gonna happen. Well, it's gonna happen sometime in 2022.
In Texas,
because
in Texas,
in Texas, yeah.
And you're shooting around like all the invasive wild fucking boars.
Yeah, the wild boars, yeah. So, but you just hang out the helicopter like fucking Schwarzenegger and Predator, you know. Dude, I was just like, I'm not saying
shit. Look who's in the building.
Wow.
Look who fucking crawled from underneath the rock, the golden rock. That's right. stuck underneath his Raptor vehicle. What is good, Miguel?
Yeah.
Miguel Garcia, ladies and gentlemen. Bro, it's probably the third podcast he tapped in all year. I know he's probably busy, respect, but motherfucker tapped into only the greatest. Here he is, Miguel Garcia.
No, he tapped into our Christmas episode and fucking I love the guy for it.
Dude, okay. Listen, you want to know why I didn't like you at first?
What?
100. You did nothing to me. You did nothing. You did nothing. You did zero to me. But Miguel Garcia, you want to hear this story? It's his fault. You ready? So when I first decided I wanted to do my own podcast, I ran a lot of my ideas through Miguel, like because how much everyone started sucking Miguel's dick and they were all loving him. I was like, all right. I was like, if Miguel's backing me up, everyone else is just gonna ride his fucking coattail anyways, right? So I was approving a lot of shit through Miguel, and so Miguel was fucking. I told him about the podcast. He's like, dude, that's going to be a great idea. I was like, and he told me, I haven't done any podcasts yet. I'll be your first. He told me that. And I was like, fuck yeah. I was like, and I had already set all this shit. And so we're getting like, I think a week within the podcast. And I was talking to Turtle, his wife, about something. And I was like, hey, Turtle, I need to talk to Miguel. It's very important. He's like, dude, he's doing a podcast right now with Snakes and the Fat Man. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, he's doing a podcast right now. I was like, he's doing a pod. He was supposed to do his first podcast with me. I was like, who the fuck is Snakes and the Fat Man? And I didn't know who you were, bro, at all. And dude, this is when I was like super angry MJ. I'm still kind of angry MJ, but like I was like really bad then. This is like 2018, 2019. I don't know when you did that podcast with them.
It was 2019, I think.
2019. Yeah. So 2019. Yeah. So anyways, right away, bro, salty with you. Like didn't give a fuck who you were. Didn't want nothing to do with you. Just wanted Miguel on the show. And, I got Miguel on the show and it was an amazing show. But that's when I kind of like I just was kind of purposely trying to shut off who you were, like right off the bat because of that little petty ordeal. But somebody then dropped a comment saying, hey, Snakes and the Fat Man mentioned you in his podcast. And I was also very toxic back then too. So I was like, oh, what'd he say? He said some shit. And so that was the first podcast I went to go to your website to listen to. And I heard your accent. I heard you cussing. And I was like, my whole like, fuck this guy meter just started like disintegrating. And I was like, dude, this guy it made me feel good because guess what? I felt like I was the only one cussing. I felt like I was the only one keeping it real. I felt like I was the only fucking weirdo out there being myself. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? So either way, I like that's when I started. And then like, I was still kind of like, all right, he's cool. I was kind of like, all right, he's a cool thing. But then the Warren Booth episode, bro, you just started, you literally lived up to your name, bro. Like all due respect. And I honestly, that really, my little Grinch heart at that time grew when I heard you give me props, bro, about like, how I take my setup serious and how I really approach this with a passion instead of fucking doing it with, people do it with socks on their chair and fucking just like all this fucking their hamper right there. It's like, what the fuck is going on? Do you not care? I remember this one lady was doing a podcast. She was wearing some weird fucking spider do-rag and she was like sleeping. She was like this.
I know exactly who that is.
While the guest is talking, I'm just like, bro, you look depressed. Like, you look like you should, like, why are you even doing this? Like, what the fuck is happening? So, I don't know. I really just fucking started just separating myself from anything else. And really, your podcast really kept that fire lit with what I was doing. Because like I said, dude, there was so many people at that time, even people that I fucked with that were telling me to chill out, and like, you're not, you're probably not gonna get people to want to buy animals from you and blah, blah, blah. When bro, like I'm having a great year, I don't know. Like you helped me stick to my guns and I'm sure I'm not the only one. But like, I don't know. Let me ask you, I mean, did you get a lot of shit in the beginning as well with coming out with your podcast talking about animals? I mean, were there big breeders out there trying to fucking put shame on you or anything like that you recall?
Probably. I know that Brock and I never really got along. But Brock, I will tell you one thing. I haven't talked to Brock in years and years, but when I saw him on your podcast, I was just like, oh man, fucking that Brock really fucking, as he's gotten older, I think has become a more calmer guy, you know. But basically, what happened was, you know, I was friends with certain people that they weren't friends with, so there was an animosity right there. But you know, other than that, you know, and now, you know, I wish Brock nothing but the best right now, but fucking, it's you know, guys like I get hate thrown at me from places where I would least expect it, you know, and like it's never from the bigger guys, you know, it's always from some piece of shit that I never heard of, but they vehemently hate me, you know.
Right. But they really hate
So
themselves. Like, it's really more of a,
mm,
like, that's a life. They have a life of
mm,
just hate. Like, they don't know what to, they're going to hate anything in their way, basically. And what's funny is people hate, so I know there's people who hate the fact that they watch my podcast so much because they have to, like, they fucking like,
right.
they like, you know what I mean? I mean, no offense, but you probably
Mhm.
have some listeners that can't stand my ass, but guess what? They're loving this shit right now. So it, you know, it is
Oh,
what it is.
dude. I have listeners that can't stand my ass, but still listen to my you know,
I love it. I don't
it's
know.
like, remember the Howard Stern movie where they're like, the people that love Howard Stern listen to him for half an hour at a time. The people that hate Howard Stern listen to him for an hour and a half at a time. And listen, I don't care. As long as you listen, as long as you download, as long as you watch, and as long as you use my sponsors and you know, and I make you laugh, that those are really like the three things that you know, that I'm concerned with. I don't give a fuck if, you know, I piss off somebody. I'll change this thing to rakes and the fat man and just talk to gardeners, like I said on my fucking podcast. You know, I will fucking turn it to breaks and the fat man and just talk to mechanics. I don't give a fuck because you know, the animal people are just a little bit too, they're too much sometimes. You know, like I watched a podcast today, you know, with these guys just giving guys like Justin and Barcheck shit, saying that they could do just as well breeding by having their snakes in giant enclosures and just you know, like it, and I'm like, dude, until you're in Barcheck's position or Justin's position, you don't even deserve to make a comment about that.
Yeah,
You know,
100%.
so
It's not
you
even your
know,
fucking department. You're not even in that
mm,
category. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
exactly,
And that's why, like, dude, the reason why the don't give a shit attitude will help you so much is because if you give a shit, you're caring about people who aren't even in your category.
yeah,
They're
yeah,
dude, they're not in your league, dude. And the
yeah,
thing is, I'm so easy to shut people out because motherfuckers just aren't in my league. Motherfuckers aren't in your
mm,
league. Like, they're just
mm,
not, they ain't doing what we're doing.
right,
And
right,
at the end of the day, bro, like, it's not about being a dick or being stuck up. It's about knowing your fucking worth. And I'm not
right,
gonna fucking waste my time. I'm not gonna waste my energy because look at everything I put into these shows, bro. Like,
right.
and I'm just saying, this isn't all an act. I get hyped up because how much I really love this shit, but really it is
Mm.
wearing. After this, I'm toast. I'm fucking like,
Oh, dude, I fucking know. I fucking
you know
it
what I mean?
is it is. I mean, I love people that hate me because it gives me something to talk about. Like, negativity is the bread and butter of my fucking show. You know,
Right.
so if I could be the grumpy old New York guy and it makes people laugh, then the job is done. You know, if fucking somebody buys a focus cube cage tomorrow because they listen to my podcast, then the job is done. If somebody goes to Herbst, then the job is done. If somebody buys
Yeah.
from fucking, you know, so you know, not to say it's all about the sponsors, but you know, it's like the sponsors are the people I care about not offending. Like when all that hot chick episode crap was going down, uh, and all my sponsors stood by you know, by me against the under 30 white women crowd. That was really, you know, something, because I know that Morph Market and Reptile and all these other people were getting emails from my haters saying to drop Chris Eaton from your sponsorship. You know, so I
Oh yeah.
appreciate that everybody stood by. You know,
Dude, and honestly, I want to just capitalize on what Chris said because, you know, I did win people over because you understand, people came to my channel not hearing good things about me. They fucking, you know what I mean? They're just like, especially after the whole fucking, Texas incident. Like I literally was just trying to tell people on Facebook, I'm bringing this guy to hear what he has to say. And all fucking weirdo Facebook fucking pitchforks motherfuckers were like, he's here to back him up. He's here to fucking support him. This guy's giving him an excuse. He's giving, bro. To this day, bro, there's deep DMs I never even responded to because they were trying to fucking say sorry and I guess, but still, bro, like that's Facebook for you. They are they want to burn people down on Facebook.
Oh yeah.
Quick.
I have so many Instagram unread messages about people that you know just fucking were ripping on me saying you hate women. I'm like, dude, fucking nobody loves women more than I love. Okay, so fucking I did not just because I told them to slap some makeup on before they come on my show. If you were going on fucking any show, you should smack on some fucking makeup. All right. So
my wife did my makeup before I
That's
started.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You get it. Fucking you fucking get it.
Dude, honestly, bro, but I mean, dude, I'm not gonna lie, Chris. That's pretty hardcore to tell a girl to slap some makeup off before you come on the show. Bro, to me, I grow up to where that's fucking pretty funny. I grew up with sisters, and I would say some shit like that to them. But dude, people there's probably men out there who are more offended off what you said.
There were a bunch of
femboys. No offense to all the femboys out there. I'm just saying that there's probably oh no, you didn't, and they're fucking trying to stick up for women who really weren't that pissed off. But
the male feminists, they're just the worst. What kind of limp dick way is that to fucking get into this girl's inbox to try and get laid? Okay, you fucking dumb fuck. But I did say, in my defense, this is the hot chick episode. Slap on some makeup. We'll do the all hideous chick episode, and that'll only be audio, so you don't have to slap on makeup for that one.
Okay, so you didn't tell a specific girl to put makeup on then?
No, it was in my general email that I sent to the 12 girls.
I thought there was a girl, and you told her go slap some makeup on or something. Or I was
no, I would do that too, though. I got no problem doing that. I mean, come on, fucking.
Oh, I love it, dude. I love it. Did you grow up with any siblings, Chris, or what was your life?
I got a sister, a younger sister.
Okay. And she grew up back east with you guys in New York, right?
Yeah. She's 2 years younger than me, and she used to beat the shit out of me, fucking grow. I mean, she was the devil, So fucking, she looks at you a lot, a very similar way that an alligator would look at you.
Oh shit. Your mic went out. You might need to come back in. You might need to come back in. Perfect time to smoke. I'm going to smoke a dab. Hey, I'm having a great time, by the way. This is a great end of a 2021 trap season. Sorry, go ahead. What were you saying?
Well, no, I mean, the joke isn't going to land as well now, but fucking, she looks at you a lot in the same way an alligator would look at you, or a shark, where she's she's thinking I could eat you and shit you out and it would make no difference to my day at all, right? So fucking, she hit me on the back of the head one time with a Cabbage Patch Kid, knocked me out for 2 minutes, and then kicked me in the ribs. Okay, so I just woke up with fucking half a broken fucking rib, and that's just the way I grew up. It's just what happens.
I grew up. My sisters are big, not they're just tall, they're big sisters, right? So my older sister Bianca, she basically ran my fucking life. Growing up, she beat the shit out of me. But obviously, as I hit teenage years, I was getting stronger and whatnot, right? So eventually, I would make him cry, and I would feel bad, and I'd be like, "Fuck!" Oh no, I made him cry. I went too hard, So one time, my sister was we were fighting in the kitchen over food, right? We were fighting about something, and she was chasing me. Remember those TV dinner trays, the plastic ones that So I had fucking food on that tray, and she was running after me, and I just fucking turned around and hit her directly in the head with the tray. Hold on one second. I hit her directly on the head with the tray, right? like you hit something with a connection, you just hear that fucking smack like that. Anyways, it put her back and she started crying. And I was like, I felt fucking terrible. I was like, oh no. So I went over her to see if she was okay. It was a fucking fake. She fake cried, turned around, she grabbed me by the hair, right? And like fucking like with all her momentum, swung me with my hair like on the ground. She full mounted me and I was screaming for help. She had her knees on my biceps, right? And I'm screaming, dude, she hawks a loogie right in my mouth.
Oh.
Literally. She went, oh, and I was like, no, and literally it smacked the back of my throat. I was so grossed out. I was literally, I was fucked, bro. That fucked my head up a lot when she did that, bro. I was really sick. I was grossed out. I felt like my sister kissed me, but she didn't in a gross way. And what made it worse, my dad came home. My sister told my dad everything. I got my ass whipped by my dad.
That's what happens. But I just want to say, normally I pay extra for that fucking spitting thing. So fucking good for you.
You're fucking a sick motherfucker.
But it's, you know.
But anyways, I grew up with like my sisters are tough. You know what I mean?
Like yeah, mine too. Like fucking, you couldn't even shoot my sister. A bullet would just make her angry. You know, like fucking, it's just not something to do. But I got a question about that. Your sister, so like, was your sister's vagina in your face? She had
no, it was on my chest.
I was on your chest. Okay, all right.
Don't get weird on me, bro. Don't get Miguel on me, bro. Please.
No, I'm just thinking. You know, like
no, she was like
that's
full,
cool.
You know, like literally, like because my sister, I'm taller. My sister's like 5'10". My older sister, my little sister's 6'1". She's fucking tall. I have really tall sisters. So it was I was stronger, and I don't know what would happen if I was going full blown, but I was like literally like my sister made my work cut out for me. Like it was not easy. She could really fuck me up. So
well, tell your sister to friend me on Facebook. But anyway, all right.
She's probably listening. Bianca, where you at? Hit up my man Chris. She's gonna be pissed. Oh god. No man, but honestly, bro, like it is a shame because one thing I heard recently within the last year is this cancel culture bullshit.
Oh yeah,
like,
that's
and
the
what's
worst.
funny is like I heard about it because people who were all pissed about me bringing the gentleman on about the Texas thing on the show were saying we need to cancel him. No one's gonna watch your shows. Blah blah blah. And I was like, what's this cancel shit? Like, what is this? What do you mean cancel me? How are you gonna fucking cancel me? And I don't understand how this cancel culture really really works. If it's not like YouTube shutting you down, if it's not like, I don't fucking know. But honestly, bro, I can't stand it.
Well, the thing is that on Instagram, I had this all-female reptile group try to cancel me. And they were being sexist on their Instagram page. And Instagram canceled them instead. So that was interesting that shit happened. And man, fucking people just giving you money, huh? Like fucking, you're just making money tonight. You're crushing it.
By the way, all super chats get donated to US ARC. But listen, you want to hear a story? Check this out. All right, here goes Miguel. He wants to try to be funny, but I'm gonna tell you the truth behind this shit right here. You ready to hear it? So Chris, in the beginning of this, me getting into snakes and building a following and whatnot, I had a couple people that were like my mentors, right? And maybe one of the mentors, two of the mentors they were just starting to become like, they're starting to show sign of weirdness, like just kind of just like, weird behaviors and like it's just kind of like you start to know people as time goes on and you just realize like, okay, that was weird, kind of suspect weird stuff, right? And so as this is going on, Miguel, as being one of my mentors, still is, I have alpacas. I don't know if you know that I have alpacas.
Right? Yeah, no, I saw. Yeah,
so I was doing a story about my alpacas, and Miguel was like, "Hey, MJ, let me ask you a question." I'm like, "What's up?" And he's like, "Do you ever like, like do stuff with your alpacas?" Like, I'm like, "What?" Like, what do you mean? He's like, He's like, yeah, you know, man, like, and like talking, like trying to, like, he's talking like a fucking like weird bestiality, like real, like it's like, I'm just like, what the fuck is this? He's like, yeah, he's like, you don't ever, he's like, you don't ever like date him. I'm like, date him? Like, is this guy talking code? Like, what is fucking happening? And literally, he's putting it on like he wants to like one of my alpacas, and basically I get really weirded out, and I'm like, yo, bro, I was like, you know, and I go to his brother Jesse, and I'm like, you know this about your brother? Like, and ever since I went to Jesse, he's playing it like it was me, bro. So now he's Mr. fucking, oh, MJ tries to date, bro. I could get screenshots. It was not me, bro. This guy was trying to one of my
No, I know. I know how weird Miguel could get, because fucking one time he was blowing me, right? And I was like, and he looked up at me and he was like, yo,
God, that's rude.
He goes, is this gay? And I was like, well, if you're blowing me, no, it's probably not. I go, but if I was blowing you, that would definitely be gay. Yeah. So fucking, so this is the only way it has to be. But fucking, no, Miguel, you know, he has that ability where he could be weird, like during
and it'd be funny.
Well, right on when he was on my show, we were talking about him and Harry Wang are really good friends, right?
Right.
And shout out to Harry Wang, fucking just had a baby. Fucking
yep. Congratulations, baby. That's my boy, dude. That's the homie Harry.
And I love Harry. Like fucking Harry's my boy, right? So I brought up Harry to Miguel, and Miguel just got so serious for a minute. And he's like, you know what? Fuck that guy. You know, he's like, fuck that fucking piece of shit. I can't stand that motherfucker. And fucking, you know, he go kill himself. I don't give a fuck, right? And I'm just like, he's saying this on the interview, right? And I'm like, well, really, dude? You know? And then he's just like, yeah, fuck that guy, right? And I'm like, all right. And then when I was ready to move on, he goes, nah, I'm just kidding. Fucking, I love Harry, you know? But for a minute there, I really thought, I was like, oh, this guy hates fucking the Harry Wang. So,
no, dude, he honestly, Miguel, thing about Miguel, bro, is like he brought a lot of people who were, I mean, I don't know, at that time, like I said, there were a lot of like people I was really sketched out about, you know, being too close with. But I do know, like, you know, Miguel kind of taught me how you kind of build your own people who fuck with you. Like, you kind of like, you know, and Miguel had a community, and still does, of people who really fucking support and really back up what he does.
Yeah.
And that's what really inspired me to want to start going to shows, is all the love. Because the thing about Miguel is, like, Miguel, like I said, he's that guy to do things for me, right? Like he flew me out to Detroit to hang out with Barcheck and all his other friends, and all his friends gave me just as much love as they gave Miguel. And like that, I'll never forget that. I had the best time ever with those people, man. And it was fucking fun. And that was the start of all these shows that I go to now to this day. But like that kind of like, you know, the habit, the building a community there, you know, building people around you who support you and keeping that balling up. I mean, I feel like that's the biggest key if you're somebody who's trying to be a leader in this game, you know?
Well, right. Well, that's the nice thing about what we do here, right? Is like, if somebody's a fucking cunt, we don't need to hang out with them.
No,
you know, like I'm not gonna, you know, if you're an asshole, I'm not gonna hang out with you no matter what. And I get to choose that, you know, by either fucking not answering you or not acknowledging you. But fucking the nice thing is, the people that like us kind of like us a lot. Like I didn't realize how many ride or die people I had, you know, as in a fan base until this year, where people were like, fucking, oh, you didn't post something in 3 days, you all right? You know, or, you know, something like that, like fucking, and people telling me on the 15 minutes of lane, when they just started getting into this, it was their goal to be on this show. And I'm just like, on this show? Like, I hear
that a lot, bro. Like that's a big fucking, you know, milestone for people to be on your show. And you gotta understand that's something to be proud about, dude.
Oh no, I totally am. But I do tell them that they got to aim a little fucking higher. You know, like if this is your really, I'm like, all right, cool, fucking. But the thing is that it's just like, it doesn't take anything from either of us to just answer somebody and be cool with them, right? It takes no effort. So just fucking do that, and everybody will fucking, you know, be happy with you. I mean, they'll be fucking assholes all the time, but if I was doing a radio show about Disneyland, there would be assholes listening to this, you know? So, I don't take anything too personally anymore. Like I said before, I just don't
I
give
mean,
a fuck.
you just can't. You know why? Because guess what, bro? Like it's so easy for me to be an asshole, and that's just been me my whole life. Like
Yeah.
I'm so like it's like I'm a pro. Like I could be a fucking dick really, really quick. But at the end of the day, like I deal with my own self shit. Like I have my own things that I deal with, right? And so does somebody else. And so does somebody else and somebody else. So at the end of the day, when someone's either hating you or harsh at you, like they're really dealing with their own shit personally.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Because there's levels of like, if I had a problem with you, Chris, like which I never did, but if I had a legit problem with you and where you're at in this game and where I'm at in this game, we would talk. Like you and I would talk. We would talk this shit out.
No, I absolutely. I totally
and if we didn't talk, I would keep your name out my mouth. I would just shut up.
Right.
But then at the end of the day, that's not a healthy life to live. Like there's people who are really passive aggressive out there. Like
oh yeah.
And like that's just the way they is. As much as somebody could be a hothead, someone who's not a hothead and just lets people just roll over them and just treat them like fucking garbage, bro. That weighs down too. At some point, you got to give and push back. And the thing is, like, I'm learning not to be so much of an asshole all the time. And and that's making me feel good, but I just grew up being an asshole to people my whole life. But at the end of the day, like you said, I had people that just come to me wanting to learn just like I wanted to learn. And it is a lot easier not to be an asshole, but you do have these motherfuckers who feel like you owe them something, which I don't. I don't understand that part. I get how people want to get my attention, but there are I could tell you one thing that people should really work on, Chris, when they're coming into this game is their approach to people, how to approach somebody. And I get how you want to make friends with so-and-so, but dude, if you don't know how to properly approach someone or fucking just build a conversation, I don't know, man. I think, who did I have? Oh, I just had, but I did a Trap Clip Tuesday with Brandon Osborne, Osborne Reptiles.
Yeah.
Okay. Shout out to Brandon Osborne. But like I told them, the biggest thing you need nowadays, bro, is people skills. And if you don't have people skills, is hard to have nowadays because people are shit. People are fucking. It's hard to be good to people, But if you aren't able to communicate with what you're trying to do to somebody and get their attention, able to grasp that attention, you're not going to really go far in life. I'm sorry.
Also, but remember where you're coming from. Like, remember the snake people. The reason that they got into snakes was because they were weird, lacking social skills kind of fucking people. Like
the original. Like, you mean the original group? Because now it's like trendy people are getting into it. So
yeah. No, I agree.
Wasn't weird. It was like we were talking about how it was an underground thing in the 90s. Like when I was growing up, like I didn't see it was more like rugged fucking weirdos fucking snakes. You know what I mean? But now, because of people like Miguel and shit, like there's people fucking influencers, like, who are getting involved into the ball python, like the Summer Rays and the fucking Face Clan, all that shit. Like that's a big takeover for this reptile community. But yeah, like I said, like it's this, like we're getting new waves of type of people who aren't just weirdos. I mean, I guess they'd be weird to us because the Generation Z motherfuckers are just out there. But like, what's not weird to common society nowadays and what's cool, you know what I mean? Like the gaming people on YouTube and the fucking Instagram models, like those are the people are idolizing those people, you know?
Oh yeah.
So getting snakes in their hands is a huge thing,
Oh yeah. Yeah. Fucking Instagram. I mean, it's just fucking crazy on Instagram. There's chicks on Instagram with like 30 million people following them. And you're like, how do you even manage that?
I hope I don't get in trouble for spilling this hustle that my boy Bill Stiegel has. Shout out to Bill Stiegel. You know Bill Stiegel, Phoenix Reptiles. He's a Texas conjo breeder. One of the.
Let me tell you something about Bill real quick. Okay,
tell it. I want to hear it.
He was supposed to be on my show back in November, and next thing I know, I look on Instagram and I see that he's on your show, and I was like,
what?
Yeah, this was when you were with him
in Texas.
Yeah.
You guys were scheduled that night?
No, not that night, but that week or whatever.
Oh,
and
shit.
and I see that he did your show, and then I'm like, motherfucker. I'm like, because my whole thing is I'm not gonna have somebody on that another big person has had on within the
Dude.
first week or two. You know that's not cool, man.
Right.
So I fucking pushed that motherfucker back to March of next year just because I saw him do your show. But he's such a fucking nice guy. You know, fucking.
I'm telling you right now, man, he has a big reason why if I ever do live in Texas, it's gonna be next to Bill because his fucking pad is sick as fuck. It's like it's just so dreamy, bro. His house, I love it. But what I was gonna say about Bill is, you know, Bill is great of a chondro breeder he is and has amazing chondros. He has a system with his ball pythons that are just fucking like, you know, like he produces codom genes, but like all white snakes, like a bell, right?
Right.
And a lot of his customers are Instagram models. They're fucking all they want is a blue-eyed Lucy. So what he did one time is he approached Instagram model that had like, I don't know, she had like a lot, like 100,000 something followers, like a shit ton of followers. And she inquired about a snake and he ended up like I guess gifting it or something where like she just tagged him and everything, like just started like tag, and he fucking got so many customers from that.
I believe it. Yeah.
And I'm like, holy shit, you know, and like that's why at the end of the day, no matter what you're doing with ball pythons, if it's a pretty looking snake, it's gonna sell. Like it's
well, not only that, but here's the bottom line. Fucking people don't like hearing this. If it's a pretty girl in the fucking picture, it's gonna get the likes. Oh, okay. Like I could give a fuck what the snake looks like, you know. But you know, if I see a chick with snakes, I'm gonna fucking like that picture all day long, you know. And there are more people like me than not like me. But good for Bill, man. That's the way. I mean, 100,000. Can you imagine how many dick pictures that girl must have in her fucking phone? Like, like she must be getting dick pics every day.
Oh my God, I don't want to think of it.
If you get rid of those dick pictures and erase them, her phone would be lighter. Okay, like that's fucking crazy. Fucking, that's a lot of dick pics, man.
Oh my God, that's fucking hilarious. Chris, let me ask you, dude. Oh my, I don't even know what I was gonna say now. Fuck, that was too much. Okay, now going in 2022, right? I have to be curious, you know, because you do have people who want more of you, right? So, what's your game plan with the Snake and the Fatman podcast going in 2022?
Well, we're switching over to all video, and not all video. It's still going to be
video
available. Audio. Yeah, video audio. So basically, I'm getting an echo again. I'll be right back. Jesus fucking Christ, man.
I'm gonna pull up Chris's YouTube real quick so we could all go. Does he have YouTube? I guess not. Tripping. But damn, what a show, man! This dude's awesome. Is he back? Oh, he's back.
Yeah. Yep, I'm back. The goal is to do a produced show twice a month. So in other words, I refuse to do lives. Okay. Because
why do you refuse to do lives? Just curious.
Because the people in the chat aren't paying attention to you fucking half the time. Because what they're doing, they're not paying attention to you, and they're not paying attention to your guest, and they're trying to make the focus on them in the chat. And that's all well and good. It's a quick, you know, way to network. But I think that the people that I have on, I just think that it shows more respect to them that fucking if people are watching it, they're listening to everything that they say, right? And I'm terrified. Here's the real reason. I'm terrified that only like 9 people would show up to my live, and fucking YouTube would show that shit, and I'd be looking like a fucking loser because fucking I can't be having that either. So
that number changes though, bro. That number changes. You gotta understand that will go up with because you understand YouTube makes you put in work to make you relevant to their algorithm.
Right.
Because I mean, the 9 people that were literally watching your show were 9 of your supporters. And at some point you get random, like as you keep doing things with YouTube, they fucking put you in an algorithm where you get other people watching your show. And maybe it's not for a long time, but they watch it, they either like it but it's not easy, bro. And that's the thing with YouTube. People find out fuck, like I've been doing this for a year. I have fucking 50 subscribers. Like this is nuts. And people put hours into editing a video, bro. Like
Oh, I believe me,
it's
I know.
fucking hard. It's hard. And honestly, I remember I was vlogging in the beginning and I was bitching to Miguel. I was like, Miguel, I got 51 fucking views on this video. And he's like, dude, that's sick. That's amazing. He's all fucking getting 30K, 40K. And I'm like, fuck. And I was like, is he being serious right now? But I think he was like really telling me like, yo, that's better than what most people do. And he was right, because as I went, because I eventually said fuck the vlogs and just went to the podcast, I was averaging about 300-400 views. But at the time I wasn't appreciating it, trust me. But now I go back and I look at it, and I'm telling you, like at the end of the day, there's no snakes in the Fatman on YouTube, and that's why people will catch on at some point. Like,
the cool thing is that we did that leveling up series with a bunch of industry people, right? And that got, I think Justin's got 7,000 views. Miguel got 5,000. But moving the whole podcast over to YouTube, I don't want that to affect my download numbers as far as the podcast goes, but I know that it will. And I'm just giving it a shot because I just figure, people got to be able to find you. And if people are just searching on YouTube, then you better be there too, So I figure it'll be fun to do like a 2-hour show where you could actually see the guest and kind of go from there.
Let's all do me a favor and the homie Chris a favor. Let's all go subscribe to his YouTube channel right now. That way you're like ahead of the game here. And that way you're on top of his shit, because man, I'm looking forward to see what you have going in 2022. I have paid close attention to the people you bring on. And, I don't know, man, like as much as I know Antoine deserved his own show, you do bring some fucking top people to the round table. Like, and these are people who are important to you. I feel like, to a sense where you want to hear what they have to say. And, you've been around the block, bro. So it's not like you're going to go ahead.
Well, also people tell me all the time, and it's very similar to what they told Kevin Smith. They're like, it's not about making a show with all your friends. And I'm like, well, why can't it be? You know, like that's really what it should be all about, So I just want people to laugh a little bit and recognize the new people coming. What would be fun is if I switched it up and only gave the giant breeders a 15 minutes of lame segment and then gave the nobodies a 2-hour segment, or an hour and a half thing. And I would try that. I think hearing Garrick DeMeyer on a 15 minutes of lame and then cutting him off after 15 minutes would just be hysterical as fuck. Okay. Or fucking cutting Justin off after 15 minutes. So
Justin wouldn't know what to do with himself. Are you?
He's like, Chris, really? He's like, I'm paying you and you're fucking cutting me off at 15 minutes. But it's but it's things that I want to do. Like we got some ideas. Like I'm going to go to Justin's this year.
Nice. Is that your first time going there?
It'll be my first time going there. Yeah. So
you're gonna love it, bro.
Oh, I know. I saw yours with him, and I'm just like that fucking.
What time of the year are you going?
I'm thinking about going in March.
Nice.
So, and the fun thing about it is, I told him I don't want to see one ball python while I'm there. I want to do the interview with you at the loading dock. Okay. And never go behind the building and never go into your facility. Right.
Dude, you got to do it from the Boland's enclosures. I wanted to do that, but we couldn't get the internet and we had to end up doing it at the hotel, but there's no internet in that fucking place, bro.
I know.
He rented, yeah, go ahead.
He rented a hotel for you, right? He did the same thing with me.
I had the hotel and we rented out the lobby, like, or not the lobby, the conference room.
Right.
Yeah. And he brought his banner and shit, so it worked out.
Yeah, no, he did the same thing for the Christmas episode because he knew that the internet was shitty there. But I just thought it would be a fun interview with Justin to just do it at the loading dock in front of that big garage door, and just never go inside at all. So
I did the whole lap around that fucking property, bro. I mean, obviously not everything. That fucking property's huge, but like the building to his house, and like I was my mouth was just hitting the floor, bro. Like the scenic, the just like where the house sits, like everything about that property is just so fucking dreamy. He's building a garage for his fucking supercars. He has like a new Porsche coming, bro. Like, oh, you're gonna see some sick shit. I'm telling you right now.
Oh, yeah, I know. And the thing is that I've been friends with Justin for years now. As a matter of fact, we 15 Minutes of Lame kind of sprouted out from Justin wanting to be involved in the podcast, and I told him that I can't have like a ball python breeder on the podcast and advertise your business because I'm basically shitting on ball pythons all day and fucking telling people, you know. And I was like, well, but what if I did a segment and you sponsored it? And he jumped right on it. He was like, fucking cool, man.
That's awesome.
The thing is that Justin, like, for some reason, he just like whatever I ask him for, he's like, yeah, no problem. Let's do it. And it could be the dumbest shit that I ask him to do, you know. But like, I'll ask him to, you know, do a quick video for me about something stupid, and 3 days later, I get the fucking video, you know. So he's definitely like been just like an awesome friend to me for the last, you know, 10 or 11 years. So
he's actually a fucking awesome friend to the whole entire ball python community. You want to know why? Justin's doing shit that a lot of fucking well-established seasoned breeders would never dare to do, and that's coming out with YouTube videos giving you the fucking insights on codoms and shit that's gonna be making big money. Like, he's not shy to help other people make money in this. You know what I mean?
Right.
And a lot of fucking ball python seasoned big time breeders are fucking hogs. They're fucking greedy. They don't. I mean, that's, you don't understand. Like, this was a ruthless game at some point. You know, like you understand. You bring up Brock, and like I had a crazy approach with Brock too, because I heard things about Brock and, you know, from somebody, and then I'm like, well, I fucking like Brock. I met Brock and I thought everything was good. But then as you move along and you move forward, you always find out that not everyone likes the people that you like. You know what I mean?
Right.
And my biggest challenge this year, I felt like, was pleasing people. Like, I had a lot of people very like, why did you bring Tyler Nolan on? Like, that was the worst idea ever. But me personally, like, I don't look, and I hope Tyler doesn't take offense to this, but I don't look at Tyler Nolan as one of our community ball python keepers. Like, he's a fucking, he lives life on the fast lane. He's fucking doing his thing, which I respect. He's Tyler Nolan. That's Tyler Nolan. Tyler Nolan is his own entity. He's his own fucking character. He wants to do what he does. That's him. But the thing is, you can't create other Tyler Nolans. And I was trying to make that a point on the podcast, having him on. What he's been through, nobody should want to go through. That's fucking insane. Like, nobody should want to get bit by a fucking king cobra. You know what I mean? But that's his destiny. And that's, and if he still wants to go back and handle those motherfuckers, that's his destiny. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, like, I don't know. Like, I'm not gonna play the line where, sorry, man, I can't really fuck with you because, you know, so and so. If I really fuck with you, I'm gonna fuck with you no matter what. If I really believe in with what you're doing, I'm gonna stick to that no matter what. But I don't know, man. It's at the end of the day. Go ahead.
Well, the thing is, like, having Tyler Nolan on is good for you regardless, okay? Because you know, if you could get a few Tyler Nolan fans, why not? You know, but at the end of the day, I feel like the way it's going to be for me in 2022, and it's been like this for about half a year now, is it's basically going to be one for me and one for you. So I'll have all Python person on because that's the majority of my base, right? But then like a couple of months ago, I had the guy that founded Aerosmith with Steven Tyler on.
Right.
And that was a fun interview too, you know? So, and I think that way is a way that you won't get burnt out as fast, you know, because you were saying, like, before when you were doing the vlogs, like, what a pain in the ass that I couldn't even imagine doing a fucking vlog every day.
Well, it was really bothering me the fact that I was like, I had higher expectations because
Right.
I'm putting in 3-4 hours of this headache. Like I didn't learn, I had to teach myself how to edit, bro. And like,
Right.
I'm here inspired by Miguel's videos and they're like all these effects. And I'm just like, oh my God. So that's brain fucking me. And I'm just trying to like, I'm putting myself in this category, trying to compete with these fuckers who are invested. Like Miguel had already been in the YouTube game doing big shit. And I was still at least making YouTube videos that were barely clearing 50 likes or 50 views, not even 50 likes, 50 fucking views. You know what I mean?
Right.
And and honestly, I was like, dude, I was honestly on my way out of just saying fuck YouTube. I was like, fuck this shit. Like it's just to me, if I'm gonna make money off of it, it's off the 9 to 5 I had at the time and ball pythons. Well, fuck YouTube. But at the end of the day, I'm really glad I stuck it out because yeah, I mean, I'm nothing any big, but I've come a long ways in the last 2 years. And, it's just a grind, bro, and at the end of the day, what makes it easy is having people like you on the show. And after I built so much momentum with the podcast, I'm starting to vlog now. Now I do drop a vlog every Saturday now, which is cool, but I don't know, man. Like everything takes time, bro. Everything takes time. And some things just don't happen, it is what it is.
Yeah, no, it is. I would have never thought, that 6 years later I'd be doing this, but I'm doing it now and having more fun at it than than I have even, in the days where I was interviewing Ralph Davis and Will Banks and all that. It's so much fun now because now not giving a fuck frees you up to just talk about anything. It's such a
mentally, even your body feels better. I'm telling you, you live without this cloud over your head. You know what I mean?
Right.
Mind you, you can't do the Texas incident. You know what I mean? You got to be fucking. There are things you do got to be careful like that. I'm not gonna lie, the whole makeup thing was fucking. But I mean, that was to your people though. So, I mean, I don't know that wasn't like live or to somebody directly. I could understand if I was a chick on your show and you're like, "Yo, go put some fucking makeup on." That would be like, woo.
Well, that would be a death wish, right? So fucking even I know that. Like the thing is that it like I'm kind of like people. Somebody said this today, like the Howard Stern of the reptile hobby, right? Like you just get to say your own shit and get away with it, right?
100%.
And if I didn't tell them to slap on some fucking makeup, I mean, I assume they all would have anyway, but it does make it a funny story, right? So fucking, listen.
Classic. This is classic.
The whole thing is that if you're hideous, I'm not going to ask you to be on the Hot Chick Show anyway, right? So fucking, but thankfully, I'm such a fan of women that there's not a lot of hideous women in the snake business. A lot of them are pretty good looking, so, but. For the heavy girls, I love the heavy girls, but but listen, don't have short hair, okay?
That dude, honestly, that's really good advice. That's all I gotta say. I mean,
don't be having a bowl haircut. And
I got heavy women in my family. I love them to death, but they ain't got no bowl haircuts. They all got some long, beautiful hair.
That's what I'm saying. So
that is too fucking funny, dude.
Yeah. I'm just it's just the worst, right?
All right, Chris, listen, I have to ask you, I got a wrap up question before we get into the hot seat questions, okay?
Yeah.
Now I want your fucking, I know you're gonna give me your true honest opinion on this, but I want to know right now, because like this is a point I was gonna bring up earlier and I forgot, but the ball python community, as big as it grows, you have people gaining interest in other species and wanting to breed, like green tree pythons, right? Like green tree pythons gaining really big popularity, right?
Right.
But what do you think? Like, what do you really feel a ball python, especially a new ball python keeper, right? Getting somebody barely getting their feet wet in a species and then wanting to get their hands on another species. If that's a trend, like if that's something that's happening, do you feel like that's something that's going to shorten what we have even worse? Or do you feel like that's something that where people could gain the knowledge that they need to gain to progress further in this hobby? What do you feel about that?
I would recommend that. All right. Like fucking, like everybody really ball pythons are like the weed of of drugs, right? Like fucking,
Right, right.
it's
Gateway.
like yeah, the gateway. It's like fucking everybody likes weed, right? But
Right.
you really know that like coke is where it's at. Speed is really where it's at, right? So fucking the coke and speed would be the green tree pythons or the boas or something like that. So I actually just got a new boa sponsor on my show, which is the first time ever a boa breeder has asked to be a sponsor on my show.
Nice.
And
Cool.
it's like we said, when you're investing in your 401k, you don't just invest in Walmart. Okay, you invest in Amazon and fucking Bitcoin and all this other shit too, right?
Right,
And
right.
I think that's if you're getting into chondros or fucking carpets, that's actually a way to solidify your investment into the animal game. Now, I'm not saying you should get fucking 30 different species and fucking start thinking you're fucking Steve Irwin and fucking keeping all this shit. But if you get 2 or 3, I think that's realistic, and I think that doesn't hurt the ball python game at all.
Right. Okay. Because you understand too, like I just feel like I don't know with imports, right? I mean, how long have you really seen imports being put into this country, flying in and out? Like, as far as like imported fucking monitors and all sorts of that shit. Like, where have you seen that game go?
I haven't even paid attention to it, to be honest with you. Like the great thing about this podcast is that it's opened up this world to me where if I want an animal, I know who to call to get that animal and get the best
Right.
version of that that animal.
100%.
Nobody's gonna send me to fucking Billy Jack down in the fucking basement in Alabama and be like, he has the best monitors. No. So fucking it's I don't really pay attention to it. I don't pay attention to every fucking US ARC alert that I get because fucking it I know that I'll know about the important ones. Okay. And I know they're all important, but fucking the fact of the matter is you just can't think about all this shit all the time, and certain shit is going to fall through the cracks. So fucking, I'll forget my mother's birthday, but it doesn't mean I'll fucking, remember 10 other things that are important, to in my life, or whatever. So, I think that you're going to, if you want an animal, you're going to figure out a way to get it. So,
Right.
I mean, look at fucking Ty. Fucking can't keep fucking iguanas at iguana land. Like what the fuck is that about? And that just came out of nowhere. So
I heard, and this is what I've heard, but I heard like there's been like fucking people catching loose animals all over his property, and that's kind of why shit's been hitting really the fan, is because of all the reports of like either rhino iguana. I could be totally wrong. This is like a year ago or something, or like 6 months ago when I heard this. But
I actually thought that the story, the actual truth to that was that it happened 6 or 7 years ago, but
right.
people were talking like it just happened 2 years ago.
Which
and I don't know, Ty well. I mean, he came on the show. He's a fucking nice guy. I will tell you this: when I think about Ty, I don't think that Ty's thinking I'm trying to fuck these people just to get some money. I think that
Right.
he's an honest animal fucking lover and wants to take care of his shit. And you can't look at Iguana Land and say that it's being done wrong because he's fucking. I mean, the videos that he's posting show. I mean, could you imagine what it's costing this fucking dude just to set up that whole thing? And he's a year behind schedule right now. So. I don't know. Again, I don't keep track of it. Basically, it's a reptile podcast that doesn't fucking pay attention to what's going on with reptiles. That's what my show is. So,
We're just here to make fun of people.
exactly. Just like basically, I want to just say things that people want to say, but they feel they can't say.
Respect.
So,
well, you fit in perfect for this podcast. I could tell you that much.
Dude, I've had a great time. I mean, we've been fucking doing this for 3 hours, and I tell people I'll do 60 minutes. That's it. That's what I tell people when they ask me to be on this show. I'm like, nobody wants to hear from my dumbass for 3 fucking hours. And they're normally the people that don't have 3 hours worth of listeners anyway. You at least have them, obviously, because there's
Dude,
still
we
some
were at
people in-
100. We were at 111, and then it dropped to like 105 for like almost 2 hours, bro. We had a consistent over 100 fucking people listening this entire time. So
I'm thrilled to death with that.
this was a really awesome time, and I could tell you again, I will bring you on the show again if that's cool with you, Chris.
Oh yeah, fucking.
Like I said, we have a lot to talk about anytime. I feel like you and I have.
Well, I'll also have you on my show, and then fucking I'll ask you all the same questions. You know, so
perfect. Why not?
and it's fun because like basically, and I don't mean to sound like a dick, but we kind of are the two bigger small guys right now.
Right.
And it's like who wouldn't want to fucking listen to us bullshit for a little while, because people will definitely learn something, I think, and at the very minimum they'll laugh.
Want to know something fucked up? And you know what, YouTube? Yeah, I'm going to call you out on it because you've done this more than twice already. It did happen on the last episode with Billy from Mutation Creation. But if you notice right now, everyone please pay attention to this, okay? If you notice right now, motherfucker, yeah, is this guy on crack? I ain't know. There's nothing lame about anything I do. You need to go fucking chill out. Anyways, what was I going to say right now? I might fucking... Oh, okay. So listen. Billy Mutation Creation. We had like probably 105 people watching, but by the end of the stream, there was 146 likes. I wake up the next morning, 28 likes on the episode. And I'm like, what the fuck happened? Check it out right now. This might happen again. 122 likes right now. We got 122 likes. Respect. Okay. Tomorrow, if something happens to these likes, I'm publicly going to announce it because this is crazy. But this is the kind of shit you deal with YouTube, if you could believe that or not. I'm telling you right now, bro. That's why at the end of the day, if you're going to put shit out, just put it out to do it for the fuck of it. Don't care about anything else, about just doing it for you. That's it. Because you never know, bro. YouTube could just shut me down tomorrow. Like they have
That's right. Yeah.
They have so much control over everything. And, that's why I don't really, I don't know. I be careful with how much shit I talk about YouTube because I'm not trying to talk shit about YouTube. I'm just spitting real facts right now. You guys see my feedback emails that I send you. I'm communicating with you guys about this, but it would be really cool if you would not take over 100-something likes from my live. That's it. I hope whoever's fucking monetizing this is listening and has a heart. God bless. Happy New Year, dude. What a fuck.
They'll be like, fuck you. The algorithm says that you only had 25.
We're fucking putting you with rock collectors, motherfucker. You idiot. Mineral rock collectors. Hey, bro, what a fucking amazing episode. First of many, I feel like. We're going to do this again for sure, Chris. So
without a doubt, brother. Yeah.
Thank you
so much.
I got to hit you with the hot seat questions, okay? It's as gangsters you are with what you do, you still got to go through the hot seat questions, bro.
Sure.
Everybody does, all right? So, all right, here we go. Hot seat questions for my man, Chris Eaton. Chris, do me a favor, bro. Don't be a fucking JP Reptiles and give me an explanation for every single fucking hot seat question I ask you. I just need you to answer these as hot as possible, and we keep it moving, okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, here we go. Hot seat questions for Snakes and the Fat Man. You ready, Chris?
Yep.
Here we go. Frozen Thought or Live? Oh, he went mute. You got to exit out. It's okay. Oh, wow. He's buying himself time right now. Let's go. All right, here he is.
Fucking
Frozen Thought or Live?
Frozen.
A cut or no cut?
Yeah, cut. Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay. All right. Red Chondro Neo or yellow Chondro Neo?
Red.
Okay. Pre-first shed meal or post-first shed meal?
Post.
Incubation-wise, straight bake or no straight bake?
I don't even know what that means.
Like, meaning, if you were to incubate something, do you keep the one temp the entire time, or do you drop it after so long?
Oh, no. Keep one temp the entire time.
Okay. Yay imports or boo imports?
Yeah.
One or the other.
Boo.
Oh, shit. Okay. To miss or not to miss the reptile? Like spray.
Yeah, fucking yeah, missed it. I mean, dude, common sense questions. Yeah.
Bro, some people will say no, I don't spray. I mean, you'd be surprised. That's why these questions are so like kind of like what? But here we go.
Dry ass fucking snakes. You open up the tub and there's like
Jerky.
fucking 3 sheds on it. Fucking
Alcohol or no alcohol?
no alcohol, but not opposed to it.
Okay. Baseball or football?
Dad, don't give a fuck. Wrestling.
Wrestling. Oh, okay. Favorite WWF wrestler of all time?
Undertaker.
Nice. Favorite ECW wrestler of all time?
Van Dam.
Damn.
Yeah.
Let's go. I love it. I love it. Okay. All right. Steak or fish?
Steak.
All right. Favorite cut of a steak?
Prime rib.
No, all day. Van Halen or Sammy Hagar?
Sammy Hagar.
Ooh, I wasn't expecting that. Eminem or Machine Gun Kelly?
Oh, Eminem all day long. Yeah.
West Coast rapper, East Coast rap?
You know what? West Coast, I think.
All right. Favorite West Coast rapper?
The Tupac.
Respect. All right. Little word association. First thing to come to mind. Milk.
Cookies.
Cocoa.
Butter.
Substrate.
Reptile.
Stuck shed.
Mist.
Ovulation.
Fantastic.
Day 60.
Oh, cut. Right.
Instagram trolls.
Hate them.
All right, one platform has to go forever. I mean forever, never coming back. Instagram or Facebook? Which one has to go?
Instagram.
What? You son
Yeah.
of how are you gonna do that to my people? Damn.
Because Instagram, you know, it's just I never read anything on Instagram. Facebook at least pisses me off with you know people's comments and you know. I just think showing a picture of a fucking frying pan with no context, it's just a waste of time.
Definitely. Respect to that. Honestly, listen, but I mean, for somebody who sells animals, Instagram is like my savior. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh, I've never sold an animal on Instagram.
Oh, God bless.
So, yeah.
God bless you and your beautiful hat.
That's
Chris Eaton, fucking dude. Hey, you are the man, bro. Plain and simple. I appreciate you so much. This has been 3 hours of fucking gold. I will never forget this time. And you have a fucking amazing New Year. But before you go, bro, what do you got to say to all your people who tapped in, everyone who supports you, everyone who keeps you going? What do you got to say to everybody?
Oh, I can't even believe that you guys are still around watching this dumb dick and fart joke podcast. Fucking, I appreciate every single one of you. I appreciate everybody that bought a fucking shirt, is a Patreon person, listens to the fucking podcast, downloads the fucking videos. It's like you have no idea how much I appreciate and how lucky I am to have this many people giving a fuck about what I have to say. You know, so I appreciate all of you guys, and you know, let's just keep doing it in 2022.
That's right, baby. We are gonna continue this in 2022. Best believe it, man.
Without a doubt, man.
Chris Eaton, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, brother.
Fuck yeah.
Thank you, my friend. All right.
Rock on, bro. Hey, I'll see you. I'll talk to you after this, but hey, you have a great night, man. And thank you so much, Chris. Have a good one, bro.
You got it, my friend. All right, man. I'll talk to you later.
Happy New Year, bro. Okay, Happy New Year.
You too. Stay safe, man. Don't do anything stupid.
You too. Right. Fucking A. I knew that shit was gonna be cracking, and it was. Thank you to everyone who tapped in. I appreciate all the super chats. Thank you so much. As you guys know, all that gets sent over to US Art. So please, guys, anything that you do to support this channel means everything to me. I am so excited for 2022, but I was not fucking around by ending this year with a bang. So again, guys, if this was your first time tapping in, if Chris brought you from his podcast, do your boy a favor, hit that like button for Chris. And if you like to continue to watch this podcast more and more, then you're going to want to hit that fucking subscribe button. You're going to want to hit that notification bell. That way you're on top of every single podcast that I come out with, because you guys are used to seeing this twice a week, but I am doubling shit up going in 2022. So starting Monday, I will be running 4 podcasts a week. That's right, baby. I ain't letting off anytime soon. 4 podcasts a week. You don't want to miss this shit. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. You guys are amazing. US Arc all day, every day. I will tell you right now, the vibe in the live chats, everyone was fucking bringing that awesome ass shit. There was a couple, I think there was one weird Bob Smith guy out there who did not make it really long at all, got dipped out, but you guys are amazing, okay? Listen, before I let you guys go, do me a favor, okay? I have a video that I'm dropping this Saturday, my first video of the year. So make sure you head down and you go down and you set that reminder. Be ready to watch this because this shit is going to be fire. I'm showing off my top 5 ball python holdbacks of the year, and that shit is going to be flame. But anyways, guys, you guys have a great night. Thank you for all the support. You guys are amazing. Please don't forget to be safe if you guys go out, all that shit. Just you know, I hate to hear anything bad happen to anybody. So New Year's Eve, guys, be safe. And I appreciate it, man. You guys, it's been a wonderful night. But you guys have a beautiful rest of your night, and I'll talk to you guys later. This is MJ, and I'm out.